Schaefer is conquering Mike. Yeah. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and wow, Schaefer is conquering Mike.
All right, good morning and welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I am Connor Happer alongside Mike Schaefer and Joey Warcola. Hi, guys.
Good morning, gents.
Good morning.
What's up?
Nice to be back.
Nice.
I just real quickly, I did something yesterday that I think even further cements me in the West Omaha landscape. After like almost a year of living here in Omaha, I finally went over to Costco and finalized the membership that we had been talking about for a long time.
You have to.
I went in there for the first time, and we got signed up for our cards. We got our photos taken. I now have a Costco card. I look like a giant idiot in my photo.
I think I do too,
does. Yeah. And
why do I look so white? Joey fixes. Why do I look so white on this camera? I'm just kidding. You don't have to fix it. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, the color balance does seem to be.
I look like a ghost.
You do look very pale, but in person you only look marginally pale.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So Costco, what'd you get on your first run?
We didn't even go in the actual store.
That's cool.
Basically, we just got the cards.
Save it.
My son was with us, so we took him over to the food area. He picked out a pizza. The slice was basically as big as him.
It's a giant pizza.
Yeah, and then he ate like a third of it, so then I had to finish off the rest of it, which,
Kind of hard to
difficult work being a dad.
But it's kind of hard to do. Like it's a big slice of pizza.
Well, what's hard about it is it's hard to we're still having to cut some of his food up. Like he's not able to he doesn't really eat crust yet at this point.
Yeah.
That pizza is also, I don't want this to sound bad because it's not like a negative part of it.
It's very greasy pizza.
Well, which whatever. It's like chewier than other pizza. Like your teeth have to like be able to rip through it. Little baby teeth over there. My 2.5-year-old, he was like kind of struggling with it.
So your guy doesn't have your guy doesn't have sharp enough teeth.
Not yet. Which I mean, have not been bitten by him in a little while, which I'm thankful for because the last time it really hurt.
Damn.
I would think that they'd be able to work through, but apparently, tiny mouths, tiny teeth, no match for the Costco.
They got to really commit to it. Maybe he's just not committed enough to it.
Yeah, but there hasn't been the trial run yet. I'm excited about it though because we moved here. We were Sam's Club people from where I had lived initially. The Sam's Club in Lincoln was like right near my house, so it made a ton of sense.
You're about to get some news because there's about to be, I think, a Sam's Club right in that area too.
See, we moved too soon. However, we had Sam's Club for a while. My wife was like big on the delivery, but I like to go into the store.
Facts.
I like to go.
I'm Team Schaefer.
I like to go grocery shit.
Team Mike.
Like is maybe strong, but I would rather go through the store and pick my stuff out than get the delivery and get the message of they don't have this. Do you want this? Not see it. And you end up with some product you didn't want.
That's right.
In the first place. There's just something about physically going through the store I always enjoy. Even if it's a hassle and it's not like doesn't fit my schedule. I like going through the store. Same reason I am one of the remaining idiots of the world who doesn't do I do direct deposit. I don't do the mobile deposit with my phone. I will go to a bank.
Oh, like to cash checks?
Yeah.
When you get checks?
Like I understand it makes me 185 years old. I'm the guy who's slowly walking from his car up to the bank. And you're like, why does that guy not just do mobile deposit? I don't want to. It stems from when I first started working from home. And you would be at home all the time. You would look for reasons to get out and go do stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then it'd be like, all right, I got to go cash a check. At least there's a human person that I would go talk to briefly or whatever. So
I have found the bank to be not a user-friendly experience. So that's one where I went for the technology.
Yeah. I think I am one of the last remaining people on earth that has never done a mobile deposit from my phone.
It's so much fun. You just take a picture of it.
I was telling my wife the other day, she's like, why don't you just do the mobile deposit? I was like, well, I don't have it set up. She's like, what do you mean set up? You just do it.
Yeah, you just do
It was like right there in
There's
your
just
app.
an app, yeah.
And I was like, well,
You already have the app. You've done the work already.
I was like, I don't want to. And she just looked at me and then walked away in disgust, which is generally how people receive the bank.
That's how I feel about I was 100% with you on the delivery of the groceries thing. Because I don't like when
Which we do it. I'm not going to pretend like we
delivery in general. I don't like when stuff gets delivered to me.
I don't really want food delivery. We'll do it on rare occasion. It's for me. I hate paying the fees of it.
Oh my God.
I would so much rather just drive and deal with all of that and pick it up and bring it back myself.
I'm that way too.
Than pay the like $3 fee or the $5 fee or the prices of the delivery, not just the delivery itself, but the food actually costs more expensive.
That's right.
Through like DoorDash and Grubhub and all of it.
No, I'm not doing
So I'm out. I don't want the extra tax on all of it.
So many questions, many comments to start
I'm a
things
psychopath. Bring them.
So Sindelar writes in, he says, admitting you're now completely washed is very brave. You should have saved it for accountability.
Well, you know.
Costco is, I don't know, man. There's like a game inside of that game. You know, you don't have to view it as what you could like. It's going at so Sindelar also follows up. He said shopping at Costco is the worst experience I've ever had, and now I have to do it once or twice a month. You do, Sindelar, Father Sindelar, by the way, and you have to find the right times that you could like that works in your schedule that you could be able to go. That's part of the game.
Like I also was fortunate for 15 years having a job where I worked from home. Like my schedule was kind of however I made it. And so I could be at off-peak Costco time and not, I'm never there on a Sunday when it's, brutally awful. You just did this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You actually took accountability for it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because it can ruin your day.
Yeah.
It really can.
So I can avoid that easily enough most days. But
on the bank stuff, nobody writes in, being stuck in the old ways significantly reduces the chances your information falls into the wrong hands.
Yeah, I'm sure I can have my data.
It's already all out
whatever.
There. Yeah.
It's not that. It's not like a mistrust of technology. It's just a sheer like I would rather just physically take the check to the bank.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to dig
I'd
into
rather
that
watch
further.
them put my money away. I'd rather be there to watch them put my money away.
Yeah, it's not even that.
Where do they put it though? It's even
they don't put it anywhere.
Exactly.
It's all computerized.
Yeah.
It's even more disconcerting. They just take it. They're like, okay, you have this money.
You allegedly have this on the slip of paper. Would you like to see it?
Unless you ask specifically, they don't give you cash. They're just like, okay, bye.
Yeah, and sometimes I need cash, though very rarely because I don't really like to carry cash.
Nobody has cash.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Debo says, I go to the bank every week for those chocolate chip cookies.
See, my bank doesn't have chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They have like Tootsie Rolls.
Or is he talking about Costco? I'm not sure. He might be talking about Costco now that I think about it. I don't know why the bank would have cookies. Costco's got cookies.
So I've never been a samples person when I go to Costco either.
Yeah, no, they don't have those on sample.
Works and I walk by and it's like that seems good, sure. Otherwise, I'm not like
they don't need to sell more units of the cookies.
But there are like people that you watch them and they just go from sample spot to sample. Like it's incredible.
I forgot about it. Yeah, because Headley's mentioning the big booms. You know about the Costco guys, right? The big really? You don't know about the Costco guys?
I know them.
I know you know them. Or you know them. The Costco
I
guys.
know the Costco guys.
I don't know. You never seen like a little fat kid and his buff dad saying boom at Costco before?
I feel like I've heard about this because they threw out a first pitch or they were on like they were some sort of publicity tour of some sort.
So originally when their bit started,
I'm familiar with the kid, I think more than the dad or whatever.
His name is Big Justice.
Okay.
And so what
that's a name.
Is
Is his actual name Justice?
Possibly.
Either way, 10 out of 10.
Their moment is over. But when it started, it was going to Costco and getting big. So the dad this is how the dad got famous. He would go into the videos and he would say, double chocolate cookie. And then they would say, boom, 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 boom. And that was their bit. And they became really famous.
So what are
there's 5 big. I give it 5 big booms. Boom, boom, boom.
I know it's like it's a thing that I really know nothing that happens on the internet and all of this.
I know.
There are very few times where you tell me something and I'm just like, my life would have been better had I known that. This was a thing. Like people really, they were watching these videos for the boom, boom, boom.
With the internet stuff like that, I don't think people actually like them. It just becomes, for whatever reason,
it takes on a life of its own.
It just becomes a fad.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes a thing. And so there was definitely a moment, I think, during like last college football season where people were booming as like touchdown celebrations.
People were booming.
Oh yeah, people were booming.
I mean,
it was like the one time people were dabbing. Everyone
Okay.
was doing, that was a long time ago.
In,
and people were doing the boom dance.
Okay. Like 2012 to 2014, Nebraska would celebrate their commitments that they would get by tweeting out boom.
Maybe they were early.
That was like a big thing.
Yeah.
That's the relationship I have with it. Something else from yesterday. I was listening to you and Severe. It sounded great. Was Michael really trying to act like Kylie Jenner was self-made?
Yes. I don't. Yes, I think
it
so.
It felt like he wanted to dig in on that more than any person reasonably could. You gave him a wide berth.
Yeah.
You really did. I wanted to call in.
I was like,
Michael, are we serious right now? You're going to tell me that none of her success is related to being a heavily commercialized individual from a heavily commercialized family?
It's funny because one of the things that people get most mad at these days is Nepo babies. And she's obviously, the definition of one. But people get mad even when they there's a music person who comes out and it's like, oh, they have great music. Oh, well, it turns out their parents are billionaires, like oil moguls or something like that. Yeah. It's like, I don't like them anymore. They're a Nepo baby.
Even Nepo baby isn't like the right term either, because that's almost to me like, Chris Collinsworth's kid is more of a Nepo baby because he's in the same profession, and it's like the chances of Jack Collinsworth having this job are 0%.
Yes, that's a Nepo
if his dad isn't Chris Collinsworth. We need a term for the people who
just have
are largely
parents.
famous because they were born on in between third and home.
Yeah.
And then actually there was like a wild pitch 75 yards behind the backstop, and they didn't even really. Someone actually came and picked them up and then set them on home plate so they didn't get their shoes dirty.
Yeah, I mean,
those
whatever that is, Kylie Jenner is exactly that.
Which is not to say, like, I'm sure she's had to make some business decisions.
I've received a text.
Okay.
Trust fund babies.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
They do call it that.
Yeah, that's
though it
the
doesn't
right one to go with.
All the time come from a trust fund.
Right.
I think that's pretty good. I think that's well done.
That works.
All right. Well, we found our answer. I don't know. I don't know if Michael was actually trying to do that or not.
Yeah, it was just an interesting part of the show.
He certainly understood why Kim Kardashian was a thing.
He was really trying to say it was time that was labeling the self-made, even though he had every opportunity.
It's time. It's time. Time's saying this.
Don't blame me. Blame Time Magazine.
I am blaming Time Magazine. Jeez,
and I just wanted him to know that I was listening, and I strongly disagree.
All right. Well, welcome back, Schaefer.
Thank you.
We're glad that you have returned. Someone commented that it looks like you maybe grew some hair or something like this.
No.
Can you confirm this?
No, I had a haircut last week.
Okay.
And then I just didn't wear a hat today.
Yeah, I can still see your upper lip.
Yeah, no. So there's always been hair under the hat. It's just a receding amount of hair. One of the reasons I wasn't here yesterday is I had a dermatology appointment that if I rescheduled, it would have been an entire year before I could have gotten back in. So now my next year's dermatology appointment is in the afternoon, so the show will not be affected.
Who knows? Who knows if this show will exist?
That is a great point. Also an alarming one.
Mystery.
In the break, I'm sprucing up my resume based on that alone.
Maybe this show will be at 2 next year.
Who knows?
Whoa.
Maybe we'll do a week where we do all afternoon and they do all morning.
It would be that week.
That
and then
would
you'd
be
have
fun.
to reschedule your
No.
dermatology appointment again.
But every time I go in, the dermatologist, who's great, she's always just like, she's looking at my head for signs of potential skin cancer. And she'll say things that are just like, not intended to be offensive, but usually are.
Awesome.
And yesterday's was a reverse of what it normally is. And it was, hey, do you wear a hat a lot? I can tell because you don't have a lot of skin damage up there that you would sun damage up there, because you don't have any other protection other than the hat. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm thinning pretty greatly there.
It's a compliment. And she's saying that your head is very healthy.
She's like, you're doing a great job protecting because hereditarily.
Because God knows it needs protecting.
You had no chance.
Nice.
So.
Well, that's good. You don't have anything wrong with it.
Yeah. The phone call still comes later this year. So
okay. All right. Good.
But I feel good about it.
That's good. That is an important piece of this, and I think the show will probably still be at the same time next year.
I'm confident.
Well, Joey's confident, so I'm confident.
I mean, I'm not asking for a move. I don't know if you are.
No.
Do you want out of the mornings now?
No. I'm just getting used to it.
Okay. Well, I know
We're just getting into full
previous
gear.
stops. You were famous for having done every hour of the radio.
That is true. Once again, maybe we could have a mix-up day where we all do different
I
things.
actually think that'd be fun.
It'd be kind of fun, but we probably are past time for that as we're going into football season.
Football season.
Have you heard about this? Mitch Sherman will join us today. Jacob Padilla will join us today. We have football topics. Power Rankings with Tiers is here. It's a double feature. Today, we are doing both days of the week and months of the year. 2 tier lists.
All right.
And one segment. That's right. I figured it wasn't enough to do just one of them. It wouldn't last very long.
This was actually more challenging than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been excited to do this for a long time because I have takes about a couple specific days and a couple specific months that I'm ready to get out there. We'll do that in the 7:00 hour, and then plenty of other things coming up on the show today, including we'll maybe have some video from Matt Rule that we didn't play yesterday. We have a new fun playoff idea.
What?
Yes, that's right. We're excited to talk about that in a little bit. Exciting stuff going on tonight in baseball. I didn't stay up to watch the Royals lose to the Dodgers last night. I could only imagine. I saw the score at 6-5. I left my television in the 5th inning.
It was competitive when I went to bed.
I left my television in the 5th inning, and I woke up to the unsurprising notification that the Royals had lost 6-5. They did a nice job against Skubal, though.
Yeah, no, it was when I went to bed, it was 6-5, and I was like, well, that's better than anyone might have guessed.
They're not coming back here tonight. So there's that. A list that you don't want to be on. The Big East finally has a new commissioner and a Nebraska-Iowa rivalry video. Another edition dropped yesterday, and this time it comes from Chiefs camp.
Oh.
Did you see this?
I did not.
That's surprising. Out of all the things you don't see, that one's surprising.
Did a really strong job of not being on the internet other than to offer some Paw Patrol thoughts last night.
Okay.
So
surprised you didn't even catch wind of it.
No,
at that point. All right. Tonight in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, a very important giveaway is happening that we'll discuss during the show today. And I have an announcement. Tomorrow, the Chunkies.
Oh, I've heard about the Chunkies.
You all get to enjoy the Chunkies for the first time.
I've never participated.
And be a part of the Chunkies. Tomorrow, the Chunkies are happening.
Do we need to dress up?
No. I always say that I might every year, but then I don't.
Okay.
I just wear the clothes that I was going to wear during that day. So, nope. Tomorrow is the Chunkies, which we're very, very excited about on this show. Also, I have something to tell you, Schaefer, because you have great power. We have more added giveaways, entries for the giveaway for the Oregon game.
Oh, let's go.
I have decided what we're going to do with ours on this show this week is we're just going to basically do like King of the Castle. Like, here you go, peasants, like take these entries into the Oregon game.
I like it.
So you could give for whatever you want, whenever you want.
Okay.
You have a handful of them. Just start tossing them out there.
Okay.
All week. You just have to use your, let's say we have 9 left, right,
9.
Jay? So you have 5, I have 4. We toss them out throughout the remainder of the week.
Exciting.
Or however many you have.
Okay.
By
excellent.
day. All right. So that's exciting. Be listening for that. You never know what could get you a free extra entry into the Oregon trip contest, which we are excited to give away right here on this very radio station, 1620 The Zone. All right. Off and running on a Tuesday. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. Surprise, a new idea for the college football playoff, which we still haven't figured out. Maybe one day we will.
It's a beautiful mystery.
I'll tell you this, guys. I have the option, the winning option in this segment today. I will tell you about it in a second. So this is yesterday. Heather Dinich said, "Is there another college football playoff format option on the table?" I don't know. No guarantee. They will talk about it today. It's something floating before they've done even a deep dive on 24. But it's not the first time I've heard 20 from a source. That's right, 20. The Big Ten says, I'd like to do 24. And apparently ESPN is saying, this is from Brandon Marcello from CBS Sports, who says this idea basically came from ESPN. He said the 20-team CFP model, a 16-team field with 4 play-in games, was developed by ESPN, and details were shared with a few conference executives last week. Sources told CBS Sports over the weekend it wasn't on the agenda for today's meeting as of Sunday, but it is expected to come up. So that's right. ESPN came up with a new number. So we have the Big Ten's 24. We have the SEC's, I don't even know where they're at, just not 24.
Yeah.
And then we now have ESPN's 20.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of great options.
Did you see her follow-up on this?
Absolutely not.
So she follows up. I saw this was a topic. She follows up last night. Looks like it was around 7:30.
All right.
And it is a tweet that just says the 20-team idea came up today, but went nowhere fast. According to
Awesome.
So
why don't you get out of here, ESPN?
Let's review the last 21 hours of reporting.
Okay, let's do it.
It was, hey, is there an option on the table? I'm hearing there's a potential new option on the table that's been discussed maybe even more heavily than the 24-team one that was presented and has been bandied about for months.
It's a real dark horse.
It has some legs to it. And then it comes out in between that this option was presented by the people that employed the reporter that told you that this option might have some legs to it and whatever else.
And then it actually got taken to the meeting, at which point it was shot down instantaneously.
Right.
Awesome.
Nothing like an institution creating their own news that wasn't really ever news in the first place.
So I'd like to say this. We will have a new version of the playoff starting after this season.
Yeah. Last year, the 12 is this year.
This will be the new contract will start. Okay. So we don't know what it's going to be. Would you both agree that it's going to land somewhere in between the numbers 4 and 24?
I think between 12 and 24. I don't think we can go back to 4.
I was going to say 12 and 24. I don't think they're going to regress back to 14.
Just in case, do you want to hear some options?
I would allow for 8, but I could not go all the way to 4.
All right. I'll give you every option. So whenever they do the new playoff and they announce whatever number it is, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I want credit.
Number.
I want credit.
Okay.
I want credit because these I'm giving you all the ideas right here.
Okay.
So 8,
love to hear it.
You just have a regular 18 bracket with 4 conference champions and 4 at-larges. 9, have you heard 9 yet?
No.
9, it's just basically an 18 playoff with 1 play-in. Yes. 10, you could do 10. 10's
Which is
an
an
option.
18 playoff with 2 playing games.
You got it. 11. So we're going to both need credit on this. 11 is like, that one's the most interesting one because you have a,
Just do the Big East tournament format.
You have a 5-team bracket and a 6-team bracket. The 5-team bracket has 1 with a bye, and the 6-team bracket has 2 with a bye.
Wow.
Which that's basically what
just do the Big East
tournament is.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 get a bye, and then 4, 5 would have to. Well, they would get the bye from the first round, but they would still have their opponent.
Joey
set.
needs credit too. 12 is whatever we have right now. 13, 1 extra play in on one side of the bracket. 14 is a 7-team bracket where the top the each side top seed gets a bye.
Okay.
So two 7s the match. 15, only the top overall seed gets a bye, and one side has 8 teams and the other side has 7 teams. Okay. 16 teams is 2 8-team brackets. 17 teams is 16-team bracket with an added play-in. 18 teams is 2 8-team brackets with 2 added play-ins. 19 teams is 2 8-team brackets with 2 play-ins on one side and 1 play-in on the other. A 20-team bracket is 2 8-team brackets where there are 4 play-ins. A 21 team bracket is two 8-team brackets with 5 play-ins. A 22 team bracket is two 8-team brackets with 6 play-ins. A 23 team bracket is two 8-team brackets with 7 play-ins. And then, of course, a 24 team bracket is basically a 16-team first round play-in, and 8 teams get buys. So it's all been said out loud on this show. This is how you do it. And whatever the college football playoff and all the idiots decide to do, I want credit.
Okay. I have no problem
Personally,
giving you credit.
I like the funny. I like 15, 17, 19,
I was going to say, it
21.
seemed like you were an advocate for 11 and 15 because of the sort of bizarreness of
Would
it.
you be an advocate for like a mid-major conference basketball tournament format for the CFP? Just have like the top 2 seeds just get a bye until the semifinals. Well, like let's say the other 8 teams would have to.
How many teams are we putting in if that's the case?
I got to think of the number. I got to think of a conference.
So it would have to be like it would have to be an odd number, and it would have to be a pretty low number as well, like 13 or something like that. And then we give somebody a triple bye.
Or
like one SEC.
Phil Knight pays for the triple bye every year.
It's the team who is the preseason number 1 every year.
Oh, this is great.
And it doesn't matter what their record is; they get a triple bye every year.
I was just gonna say whoever wins the SEC championship and whoever wins the Big Ten championship.
No, it has to be something completely nonsensical. We have to make. By the way,
let's just throw Duke in there.
The team that wins the Commander-in-Chief's trophy across the 3 branches of the services.
Good one.
They get a bye.
Yeah, we got to put one of the troops teams in.
With their troops.
Because people want to default to supporting the troops in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
If their team is out, you can always support the troops.
Well, the problem is the troops, the biggest troops game of the year, Army-Navy game, it will happen now during the playoff, which is
probably has to be resolved at some point.
Maybe.
Because there's going to be a time where
it's an auto bid game.
It wasn't that long ago that Navy could have been a playoff team as a group of 5. Like a couple years ago, weren't they like 9-1 or something?
They were on the hunt. Yeah,
they were on the hunt until they faced Notre Dame. Pretty much any year they are solid. Just wait until they face Notre Dame.
Then they get Johnson back.
Blown out.
Is going to be tough.
Oh man. Where is that guy?
I think he passed. That's why I made the comment under my breath. Am I wrong on this? Is this an accountability? No, it's not. He
died.
No, I don't want the British journalist.
It gave me the British journalist.
No. I want Paul Johnson, the football coach. I want the Georgia Tech coach.
Nope, he's alive. He's 68. Sorry, Paul Johnson.
Accountability.
That's definitely going in accountability.
Yeah, we tried to,
I didn't try. Well,
Well,
it wasn't on purpose.
You weren't sure. You weren't sure.
He wasn't sure.
It's not a great defense for me. I'll be honest. Like that's not a good one. I don't get to just hide behind that.
Who are the other option guys that we have out there still? All right, then now we're going down a rabbit
Jeff
hole.
Monken, obviously, at Army because
could be honking for Monken.
People were honking for Monken in 2022. Troy Calhoun. One of Michael Severe's big bets is that if
Air Force always bounces back.
Yeah. Air Force has a big bounce back year, and there's like a modicum of college football playoff buzz is like a dark horse team for you to bet on as a group of 5 there.
Love it. By the way, in all of these numbers and all of these college football playoff formats that won't happen, it's just a complete free for all. There's no automatic bids. And it's just, whatever the committee decides. I'm sure that's where we'll end up because we won't be able to decide who gets automatic bids unless we would land on the stupid Big Ten format where they have to get 5 teams no matter what or whatever that stupid thing was. This is so
I don't
dumb.
like that.
This is turned into the courts thing for me, where whenever there's a report about the college football playoff in the future, the college football playoff, I'm just like, please table this, put it to the side.
How many items are in the courts thing at this point?
That's a great question.
That could be its own tier list someday.
It could be. Things that when I hear about, I immediately roll my eyes / stop tuning in.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're now dedicating to hopefully the sarcasm is coming through where I'm making fun of this. I'm not actually talking about the realities of a 20-team college football playoff. Although it would be funny if they did it, if they did like 21. So yeah, the court stuff, the CSC, the college, the Protect College Sports Act, whatever. That's all in one. Anything with the college football playoff, don't care until it actually gets done. Any posturing about the college football playoff, no.
I don't really care about NIL in terms of like, oh, these people spend this much on their roster. Like, I don't care.
The calendar has been talked about a lot.
That's been an issue for a variety of reasons. Recruiting,
Now
when coaches get fired, signing day.
These are all real problems.
Transfer portal calendar.
But once again, we're never going to agree universally on any of these.
Nobody wants like, hey, this might slight me somewhat, but it's better for everyone overall. No, it's if I'm being slighted at all, it is.
I say no.
I'm standing and fighting my ground.
It's a big fat no.
Right.
Nobody is giving an inch.
Nobody has,
because everyone.
They're always
only
worried
care about
someone's
themselves.
taking a mile.
This is my thing with people who are driving on the road. Nobody cares about anybody else anymore. They're just like, la 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 la, I'm in my own world. Like anything that works for me is good. I don't really care how it affects you. That's driving these days, and that's college football. That's probably always how college football has been, though.
It's kind of arguably sports in general.
Yeah.
Sports are leaving the fan behind in a really large way.
Yep. Anyway, sorry, it turned out to be a depressing.
This is super uplifting.
Super depressing. I'd say, dude, the weirdest possible number of playoff that you could get. 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23.
I like 19.
And just
the idea of a 19-team playoff with, 3 play-in games?
So you do, it's 2 18 brackets.
3 play-in.
And then there's 2 play-ins on one side and 1 on the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that just because the idea of a 19-team tournament, which the Big Ten is only 1 away from a 19-team basketball tournament.
That's right.
Who can we finally get would Notre Dame agree if they understand how funny it is?
They could do the blueprint for this. And then
is this an issue for the ACC? Are they at a weird number during basketball season?
They're at
Notre Dame
16 or 17.
17.
I think they have,
because with Notre Dame,
there's something with the ACC that gets thrown off because they have 1 extra team in there.
I'm gonna open up Ken Palm.
Well, they got 18 teams
for
basketball.
Then they have 1 less for football because Notre Dame's in for basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because
because
they added 3 teams. They added Cal, Stanford, and SMU.
That's right. They should probably get that figured out.
Yeah.
Just bring in a Sunbelt team as a football-only member of the ACC.
Great idea.
Appalachian State. Boom. You're in.
Maybe just have
James Madison.
Just eject 4 teams from every major conference and have them create their own conference. And it's like the Big 12.
The Big East.
Trade Stanford and Cal to the Pac-12.
Yeah. Yep.
Revive the Pac-10.
Yeah.
I'm saying making a new conference out of the skeleton of the ejected team, like Rutgers, Maryland. Get out of there.
Big East football is back.
Big East football could come back at this point.
UConn could join. They could get out of being an independent.
Who do we kick out of the ACC? I mean, nobody's bad enough to be kicked out of the ACC.
North Carolina's bad.
I mean, you can't kick them out of the ACC. Like
you're not kicking North Carolina out.
Yeah, they're a
Boston
value
College
brand.
is probably the most kick-outable.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Wake Forest?
I don't know. They tend to be competitive in a lot of things. Like they're competitive in baseball. They're fine in football. They're
okay.
Should we just send
okay in basketball?
Should we send Miami and Penn State just to make the Big East look good again?
And then we're kicking Mississippi State out of the SEC.
Yep.
Vanderbilt, obviously.
This seems like a great. Who would we? Our perfect conferences. That seems like a segment for us in the next week.
Conference rejects. Just call it the conference rejects.
Happer and Schaefer conference realignment.
That would be easy for me. I would just reset it to 2010.
We're doing that. I don't know. You want to do it this week or next week?
Sure. Tomorrow's a chunky, so we got to clear out,
Yeah. Then Thursday we're getting into I have an opinion and everything else.
We have to remember it, Joey. Write it down.
Let's plan next Wednesday, Happer and Schaefer conference realignment.
Okay. Sure.
Wednesdays become our big day we did the auction with Severe. We've got the Chunkies. Now we're going to do Happer and Schaefer college realignment.
Random stuff Wednesday.
I like it.
Sounds good to me.
We could even call it Wacky Wednesdays. Nobody's doing that.
Bit Week is back, folks. Text from the 515. If the Big Ten kicked out 4 teams, then Nebraska would be one of them. No, I'd say the Big Ten is only going to kick out 3 teams. Sorry, Nebraska gets to stay.
Yep.
That's
hooray.
I make the rules. We'll take a break and we will do a college football preview with our magazine coming up on 1620 The Zone. All right, remember, stay tuned. We have your opportunity, extra opportunities to get entered into the trip to the Oregon game. Remember, we're giving away a trip to the Oregon game this year. Round trip airfare to Eugene, a 2-night hotel stay, tickets to the game, $150 gift card on top of that. You could always enter to win online at 1620thezone.com or listen to this show because we have in our pockets, Michael gave away one yesterday, and we have in our pockets 9 more bonus chances, 9 more bonus chances to get entered into that competition. Extra raffle tickets for you all. So be aware, be on the lookout. You never know when one might come your way. All right, Schaefer's got the balls. Let's
How many balls you want?
well, 4 usually puts us in Big Ten territory,
So
right?
5.
5 or 3. So that 5.
5.
Yeah, 5
1, 2,
balls.
3, 4.
Joe, you got the math?
Yes, I got it.
All right.
We have
Can
a
he see it?
31,
31.
30,
It's one of my roulette numbers.
36, 39,
Whoa.
19.
Nice. Okay.
155.
155. Is there a 155 in the pick
There should
six
be.
books?
It could be an SEC team.
It is an SEC team. It's like middle of the pack SEC.
Okay. Are we going to Tennessee?
That'd be awesome because you hate them. No, we're going
We
to
already
South Carolina.
did Tennessee anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm just.
But South
we're
Carolina,
guessing
we
a team.
haven't done it.
All right. Remember Lenora Sellers?
I do. He's overrated, and I wouldn't want my NFL team to draft him.
I wanted him to be so good, and then he
He was fun,
He was fun, and
Yeah.
then he just wasn't
Agreed.
last year. They are picked tied for 10th in the SEC, according to our dear friend Brett Ciancia, but that gets them 28th overall. I just don't.
There's buzz about them that's so unearned,
I know
and it will fail.
they went 4-8 last year,
We have a Heisman candidate who came to play at quarterback.
and this was, of course, coming off of their 9-win season the year before that. God, their 9-win season, they didn't really accomplish anything, though. They beat Clemson, which was their big win at the time, which has not aged, obviously, particularly well. Oklahoma was down, and then they beat up on Missouri, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt, and then a crap non-con, plus Clemson. So last year, they beat
South Carolina had a Kentucky-esque season, and now Shane Beamer is in the Mark Stoops spots of you have to follow it up, and he did.
Yeah, this might be our Kentucky of the year.
I love that game. Great game.
Kentucky of the year is
I
South
don't know.
Carolina.
You'll have to read their schedule because to be the Kentucky of the year, you have to play almost nobody in the SEC and then win just enough games against the bad teams.
There is some challenges. They don't play just about nobody in the SEC. So Kent State, Towson, and Clemson in the non-con.
Okay.
Clemson is to finish the season. And then Mississippi State at Alabama, Kentucky at home, at Florida, Tennessee, at Oklahoma, Texas A&M, at Arkansas, and then Georgia to finish off the conference season. Georgia at home on November 21st.
Yikes.
Yeah, so there's Georgia, there's Alabama, there's Oklahoma, there's Texas A&M.
And they have to still prove that they can beat Florida and some of these other teams, too.
Yeah, there's some challenges. The outlook from Brett is this. After finishing 14th in the SEC game grader, South Carolina made a solid offensive coordinator hire and landed enough transfer talent to bounce back to the SEC's mid-tier. They also draw 4 of the bottom 5 teams in the league. Yes, but they also draw Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Texas A&M, which are all supposed to be like borderline playoff teams.
They're also like number 6 out of the bottom 6 in the SEC. So
Yeah, I don't see it. Like, maybe a bowl game?
Sure. I think 6-6 would be a good year
Pretty
for them.
decent, yeah.
I mean, they'll go at least 2-1 in non-con.
You want to do one more? You want to either add a number or subtract? Well, you can't add a number. We're at the end, basically.
Okay, we'll subtract one. Well, whatever the first thing that comes through here is the number that we're going to subtract.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like that.
We are subtracting the number 34.
So we're down to 120?
121.
Yeah, we were at 155. 121 puts us in the Big 12. I think we've done this team. West Virginia.
Nope, we have not done them.
Okay.
Let's go.
We get to talk about Rich Rod.
And Matt McMaster's best friend, Ren Baker.
Ren?
Did not come up in this magazine. This team is picked 11th in the Big 12 this year. They are supposed to be quite bad. They won 4 games last year. Colorado, Houston in the conference. They beat Pitt somehow. And Robert Morris, who was an FCS team last year as well. I don't know. I want to be optimistic about Rich Rod, and I think I like what they did at quarterback. They went out and got that Michael Hawkins from Oklahoma, who is a pretty talented player, and he's at the very least fast, he can run the Rich Rod offense. Here's the schedule: Coastal Carolina, UT Martin, Virginia in Charlotte, Oklahoma State at Iowa State, Arizona, Cincinnati, TCU, Texas Tech, Kansas, Houston, Utah. That's a very tough finish.
Yeah.
If they could get to 6, that would be huge. Like I said, they're picked 11th in the conference. Here's what it says. This is not the usual second-year coach bonus. In fact, with 85 new players, this is basically a second transition season. Rodriguez upgraded the roster with the nation's rushing champ, improved lines of scrimmage, and a top 25 Cam Cook, by the way, is that nation's rushing champ last year. Top 25 high school signing class to build the foundation for future seasons. West Virginia will move up a few spots in the Big 12 ladder, but next year looks like a better shot for a program revival season.
Okay.
So
we'll file that away.
Building for West Virginia.
Will they give him enough time to build?
Cam Cook's a 1-year guy, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's only there for 1 year.
Yeah. He's a really good player.
Well, is his 1 year now 2 years because of the rule change?
That is true. I
don't know.
I'm not sure how many years he has under his belt at this point, but yeah, they lost a ton. 85 new scholarship players is significant for West Virginia. They are picked, like I said, 11th in the Big 12.
He only shows 3 years of stats. I don't know if that.
Okay.
So I don't know. He could be back.
It's possible that he gets that 5th year, which would be giant. He is the transfer from Jacksonville State. Yes,
and originally from TCU.
Oh, he was at TCU
Yep.
to start. I didn't
So
know
he's
that.
now on his third school.
TC says West Virginia, watch out for Cam Cook. They definitely have some fast guys. Rich Rod with fast guys. I mean,
There's been a history of success there.
there has been. Can we
Now,
get?
was that 20 years ago?
I
Yes.
do want to personal opinion. I would love to see Rich Rod be good again.
Was college football better when Rich Rod was good?
I wouldn't say that because I don't like when people say that.
I know. That's
But
why
I would just say
I
that
tried to get you.
I liked personally when Rich Rod was had it rolling at West Virginia.
Sugar Bowl game against Georgia is a favorite random bowl game of mine. That was kind of like the big Pat White introduction game.
Man, what a time that was. We have an extra minute now, by the way.
Whoa!
Our breaks changed.
Yeah, Joey didn't seem as antsy.
Which is
so.
fantastic.
Yeah, we got an extra
Joey's-
minute.
We just sit around. We're like, hey guys.
So you guys can talk about West Virginia
No,
all you want.
I just got scheduled news for the NBA.
Okay. All
When
right,
I
just
was- when I-
eat it.
Hold.
Just
I'm
Hold.
teasing it.
John writes in, if I win the Oregon trip, can I just enjoy a long weekend in the Northwest, or do I actually have to go watch the ass kicking? I don't know, but you've just been awarded a bonus
Whoa.
entry, and we can't wait to find out.
Will he go?
John, Joey's going to text you and maybe do you need information, Joe, or do we just need to put John in there? John from the text line.
We'll need some
All right.
information. I'll get in
Text
touch.
John.
There you go. Now we just have 8 left for the week for bonus entries into the Oregon game. We'll take a break and we will come back 7:00 hour right after this on 1620 The Zone. Don't forget, you got to get in to the 1620 The Zone golf tournament. The scramble is coming right up. That would be, Joey informed me yesterday, I was shocked by this. Next Friday. You believe that?
10 days away.
Next Friday.
I can.
At Joey, have you done your line test yet that you've been talking about?
That's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I'll be over there after the show.
Very exciting.
Sometime around the afternoon.
I'd like to do a line test, and by line test, I mean tee off on one and have a nice.
See what kind of line you take to the hole.
It's or is that 10 or 1 where you go kind of up, like you're hitting up north up against 120th Street?
Yep, it's 1.
That's 1, yeah, and it kind of perfectly settles into my shot shape, which
that
is
might
a
be
slice.
10. They flipped them, didn't they? They used to.
I can't remember.
One is now the hole where the distinction is that it's the longest hole in one ever made was at number 1.
I don't think you can make a hole in one on the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but and there's argument as to whether the hole in one ever happened at this. Have you never heard about this? It's like a real famous controversy.
I don't know.
I'll alert you to it during the break.
Okay.
Whatever
Whatever
we
it
talk
is,
about it on the show.
I want to just tee off to the northwest a little bit, whatever that is, 1 or 10, I can't remember, and it just perfectly settles into my terrible shot shape, which is a slice, and it just lands about 100 yards.
You don't
off
have
the
that much
green.
of a slice, or at least what I.
Well,
remember.
I mean, that's my natural thing, but it only does that about 40% of the time.
Gotcha.
The other, I have no
on
idea.
average,
what's
you're
gonna
not
happen.
hitting it 265, is what you're saying.
No, on average, I'm hitting it off the line of whatever I'm aiming for.
But in McMaster terms, on average, when you hit it exactly how you want it, it looks like that.
And it does go pretty far.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's I actually haven't measured, but if I do happen to hit it straight, it probably goes about 265.
I just can't get over that.
I don't think he knows what the
You
word
got
average
absolutely
means.
demolished by people all day for that.
Debo says that is 10. 1 goes down the hill next to the driving range. I just want to hit a tee shot on 10.
Yeah, 1 I think has the longest hole in one.
Anyway, if you want to know the course better than I'm not one of those people who remembers all the things about all the courses. I don't have one of those golf brains. Join us at the Scramble coming up next Friday. Get your team signed up today at 1620thezone.com. Plenty of great stuff. In fact, we got an email yesterday about all of the things that you could win for whole prizes. How about this? A pair of Burt Kreischer tickets, Creighton basketball tickets, Storm Chasers tickets, a Lindley clothing gift card, an IBW gift basket, cornhole board, $100 gift cards to Early Bird, a Roku stick, bunch of $100 gift cards to like Stories, Cashios, Lapeep, Xbox, Cutwater, Golf. I mean, these are all whole prizes. So they're going to be given away. And then there's straight cash, homie, Visa gift cards to the flights all across the board. So join today, 1620thezone.com. It's brought to you by Cutwater and T-Box. Get your team signed up. That is, of course, next Friday. All right, Joey, go ahead. Tell us about your NBA. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. So Shams tweeted out about half an hour ago on the matchups for NBA opening night and NBA Christmas. So,
seems like really big news if they're dropping it at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Well, they were supposed to announce something during Good Morning America, and
he
Shams
got in with the leak.
He likes to be first in line. So anyway,
Good Morning America is so hard up for real news that that the NBA schedule is part of their lineup today.
So many people are wondering, who are the defending champions, the New York Knicks, going to face?
That's right, Joey. They did win the NBA championship. People forget it.
Who cares about that? But
say it again.
Anyway, the Knicks are going to open the season against LeBron and, of course, Jaylen Brown and the Philadelphia 76ers.
I can't believe it!
Then that's followed by OKC at San Antonio for the night slate. And
What
I guess
day is this?
this is going to be October 20th. I think this is a Tuesday night. But Shams also added to this that the Pistons and Celtics will be playing on that day as well. They'll be the first game. So they're doing a triple header. And I'm guessing that's going to be an ESPN network game followed by the 2 games on NBC. But the Christmas slate is what I was interested in, seeing if the Celtics were going to play the 76ers. They are not. They get the second game, by the way, but I'm going to go in order. Spurs and Knicks will be the first game on Christmas.
Ooh.
Followed by Giannis and the Miami Heat at the Boston Celtics at Hugo Gonzalez, in case you're wondering. Anyway, 76ers at Lakers, LeBron's reunion with LA, then Thunder at Timberwolves, and then the last game, Nuggets at Warriors.
Okay. I want to offer a prediction here.
I like it. Yeah, go ahead.
On Wednesday, October 21st, the graphic leading into the show that morning will be related to something that we probably won't even really discuss on the show that day.
Yep.
Which is something Celtics related.
I agree.
No, it's probably going to be Connor Happer.
Or is it going to be Jaylen Brown in his uniform?
No, it's
and you with a photo of you all teary-eyed looking at him wearing another team's uniform?
No, it's going to be Connor cheering with the New York Knicks as they unveil their 2 banners because they did win the NBA in-season tournament for that season as well.
They're going to hang both banners?
Probably.
Bing bong.
Wow.
They're the first team to ever win the in-season tournament and the NBA Finals.
Yeah, keep in mind this
is
the
same season. And Nebraska just handshaking all over the place. First crown champion, followed by a Sweet 16.
Nebraska's not won a national championship though.
Yeah,
but they did win.
They won the crown, and then they went to the Sweet 16.
I
mean, no one's ever done it, Joey. Try to take it away.
People forget that. This, by the way, will all take place in between. This will take place after the Oregon game, the week after the Oregon game, and there would have been a Creighton exhibition at Iowa State on the Sunday before. For the record, if you guys are, maybe that'll be in the graphics. Still, we'll still be talking about the Creighton exhibition, which Creighton famously won last year against Iowa State.
Wow!
And then that was arguably like the highest point in their season, except for the win at UConn, which was weird. People forget they beat UConn.
They did beat UConn
on the road.
It didn't.
It was super.
I mean,
weird.
it was flukish, but they looked better than UConn.
I know, it was so odd. It was so odd.
Blake Harper was just confidently hitting critical shots in that thing.
Yeah, he came in. He's like, you know what? I'm getting this thing up, and he made most of them. Here's John. Why is Joey speaking a different language right now? I don't understand any of this. What a great question. I am not sure. I'm not sure. I still like the NBA on Christmas Day a little bit. I don't like watch it as much. I'm not quite as locked in as I used to be, but I still like the idea of the NBA on Christmas Day. Just keep doing
more than the NFL on Christmas.
Definitely more than the NFL on Christmas, but you know which one I'm watching.
Sure,
the NFL on Christmas.
I get annoyed by the NFL on Christmas because it disrupts my ability to just knock Christmas out and then focus on the NFL. And are the Vikings playing again on Christmas?
No, they are not, because it's going to be Packers, Bears. Then it's going to be. Oh no, I don't. I'm starting to forget.
Yeah, look, Joey's moved over to the NBA, so the NFL is just been shoved out of his brain.
Bills and Broncos is the second game, and then the last game is going to be Seattle's playing someone on Fox.
Got it.
I want to say the Chiefs.
Too many Christmas games.
Yeah, way too many Christmas games.
Should only have one.
Anyway, go NBA. Good luck to them in a couple months.
We'll not be saying that.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Thank you. I'd like to show Mike Schaefer a video since he hasn't seen this yet. This is from Chiefs training camp yesterday. This video was a video from the camera of one Matt Foster. Do you remember Matt?
I know Matt Foster.
Matt Foster, with the hair. He's been working in Kansas City for quite some time now. He went to Chiefs training camp yesterday, and he caught this video of an event that happened. The thing that you're about to see is Emmett Johnson catching a football. Remember Emmett Johnson of the Nebraska Cornhuskers? And then
he caught several footballs.
Is hit. He's tackled on the play by an Iowa player, former Iowa Hawkeye, Xavier Wonkpa. Remember Xavier Wonkpa?
Yeah, I do.
Well, here's the video, Schaefer. Tell me what you think. And if you weren't watching along with this on YouTube, he was absolutely destroyed on the play, decleated back to the ground. This video has gone triple platinum in the state of Iowa.
The hard part for Emmett Johnson there is that Wonkpa didn't even have a reverberation of his own hit.
No.
And Emmett went down hard.
He got smoked.
Yeah. It's like he almost didn't see him. somehow, even though he was trying to juke him.
It's like a complete. I don't know if it was. You wouldn't call it a clothesline because he didn't. It's not like he like stuck out. Like,
Yeah.
but it was.
It had more of that effect than you would have guessed.
Now, there was then some debate on social media after this. Obviously, there's the Iowa honking that came out afterwards, which was look what happened. Even in the NFL, the Iowa players are dominating the Nebraska players. And then the debate back from Nebraska fans was that was a dirty hit and he should be kicked off the team immediately. Where do we stand on this issue?
That was not a dirty hit.
It did happen in practice, though, and people don't like apparently when people get hit hard, in practice.
Xavier Wonkpa is trying to make the team.
Correct. Thank you.
He needs to hit hard in practice.
He does need to hit hard in practice.
It's kind of amazing he didn't get drafted. That was I
was surprised because he was like a 5-star, wasn't he?
He was I thought at least good at Iowa. I didn't think he was
had
bad.
a pretty good career. Yeah.
So I was a little surprised to see that that he didn't get drafted. But yeah, so he needs to make the team. I don't think it was a dirty hit at all.
No.
Just don't think Emmett like visually saw him or something.
No. That was our video of the day yesterday. Yeah. That was the video that was going around.
Well, good for Iowa.
And it sparked much debate.
Do they think that Emmett Johnson got hit harder than Caitlin Clark does on an average WNBA game?
Do you know who Michael Severe's man of the weekend was?
Sophie Cunningham.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even see any of.
Oh,
this.
man.
That's okay.
I don't know what has happened, but my algorithm for social media has just been hammering me.
Put Sophie Cunningham in
WNBA.
Put Sophie Cunningham in the courts column of like when I see something that happens with Sophie Cunningham, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna dive into this because
that's
there's
a
too
more
much
recent thing though. Because I would say up until 2 weeks ago, anytime she came up, it was for a more fun reason. And then from the last 2 weeks on, anytime she's come up, it's been significantly less fun, and I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah.
So, and then over the weekend, she got hammered on a putback attempt, I think it was.
Nice.
Then there was some contention about the person who got kicked out. The WNBA, like I said, it's an incredible product in the sense that nobody cares about the results of the game, mimicking the NBA in a very realistic way. Just manufacturing content and drama endlessly.
The next NBA is here, folks. It's called the WNBA.
They even have issues with players sitting out nationally televised games now.
That is true. Listen, I heard that if Caitlin Clark gets one more technical, she's suspended or whatever. But she had one rescinded.
She's the Wemby of the it is uncanny how much they mirror each other.
Sit Destroyer writes in, he says, Xavier got chewed out by Mahomes for doing that. You guys are being doofuses. LOL. That was an objectively dirty hit. Dude walked away all giddy. Didn't even check on his teammate. Sit Destroyer, they're playing football. I don't think anybody's, this is actually true. Nobody's seen a football practice, probably. Like, this is what happens. Football practices, there's a lot of the stuff like when you watch a football game and dudes get hit and you're like, ooh, that was pretty bad. That also happens in football practice.
And sometimes it leads to fight.
And yes, those two people are teammates, but they were going against each other in that exact situation. I did see the follow-up was like Mahomes was like, hey, what's going on here? But guys, like nobody's going to get cut from the team for hitting a guy in practice.
It'll probably help Wonkpa make the practice squad.
I would imagine so. And Emmett Johnson, it's not like just because he got decleated and smashed on the play, it doesn't mean he's not going to make the team. Or,
he's still going to have to get up and sing the Nebraska fight song at some point in time.
That is true. He will have to do a rookie initiation of some kind. He'll probably get some carries this year after Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I don't know who's Rashad Smith, right?
They got some more guys. The Chiefs always have a random running back. Yeah,
I think it's Smith.
Text from the 402. The hit was during a thud period, so essentially a no tackling portion of practice. Not a dirty hit, just unexpected in that portion of practice. Okay, that's
good context.
That's fair. Unexpected. Yeah. People are like, you have to cut him. You have to delete him from society right now.
I don't want to delete him from society.
Man.
He can stay in society.
Video of the day yesterday from Chiefs football practice. All right, we have a couple things that we want to hit in our next segment, including our power rankings with tiers, a double feature, days of the week and months of the year. We have video from Matt Rule as we go on throughout the show today as well, and our guests, Mitch Sherman and Jacob Padilla, all to come on Happer Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer with you. Big Ten Power Rankings with Tiers will not be Big Ten Power Rankings with Tiers, at least for another couple of weeks until the season starts. So it's just Power Rankings with Tiers still, even though we did Big Ten Power Rankings with Tiers last week. So I've been wanting to do these lists for a long time. Days of the week and months of the year.
Okay.
Days of the week, 2 separate lists, days of the week and months of the year. I'm curious to see where these landed for Mike Schaefer. Let's start with the days of the week list.
Okay. So I have 3 tiers here.
I have 5.
Whoa.
I have 5 tiers.
You have a lot of solo tiers.
I do. Yeah.
I have no solo tiers. I have, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Nice.
And Saturday, Sunday, Friday
Now,
in that order.
See, you could do that, but I think there's a clear delineation. There's a clear winner amongst those 3, even though those are the best 3.
Yeah.
And then, so what was the order again?
Saturday, Sunday, Friday.
Okay. So top tier by itself Saturday. It's you're removed from the work week, right? And you're still a day clear of it. You have a buffer day on the backside. So second tier, some downside, but still elite. I went Friday, Sunday.
Okay.
It was close for me between Sunday and Friday. Ultimately, I gave the nod to Friday because of the vibes. The vibes on Fridays are really good. Sundays, I like. There is
the Sunday scaries.
The Sunday scaries, they come in. Especially when you got a morning show and then you have to really start thinking about Monday really early on Sunday. So I appreciate the relaxed nature of Sunday. It's good, easy Sunday morning, awesome. But Friday, there's so much in front of you.
So
right, it's the anticipation. I think
here's the issue I had, and Saturday was my number 1, but the bigger debate I had was between Saturday and Sunday. Because previously, Saturday was always the biggest day of the week for me, 15 weeks of the year or whatever it would be. And I didn't have like Saturdays that other people probably did. And then there'd be other stuff. Like Saturday was always busier for me. Of the 2 days, Saturday is almost always the busier one. Yeah. So,
hey, it's your list, man. You do whatever you want.
It's just like thinking about it and thinking about how my schedule and everything is set up now, and also acknowledging like Saturday gets the benefit of the Friday night that you roll into a day where Saturday you may not have as much going on. Plus you have that buffer day at the other side of it on Sunday.
Yep.
That's what advanced it over. Sunday, I've always loved because of the NFL, but just in general, like Sunday is it is so close to being my favorite day of the week. I couldn't quite make that flip.
Good vibe of Sunday.
I love Sunday. Like absolutely love Sunday.
All right, next tier.
Do you want me to go or you want to go?
You can go.
Okay. My next tier is at least there's football. Thursday, Monday.
Okay. We have the same tier. I think these in the same order, by the way, as well. Thursday, Monday. I think these 2 days are underrated. And I kind of thought that you would not put Monday as high.
No.
Like Monday. Monday has a bad rap. People talk about it having a case of the Mondays and things of that nature, going back to work, all these different things. Monday is great. Monday, I find to be the most productive work day of the week. I feel accomplished when I actually do stuff.
You executed this yesterday when I go to check our sheet at like 7:00. Yeah. You've already got all the topics.
Monday for me,
I was like I don't have to do anything.
I don't know what it is. It's just maybe just the freshness coming off of the weekend, or you want to get yourself up. I'm a big believer in good starts. Like winning the first game of the season or whatever it might be. Monday is that day. And so getting off to a great start for the week on a Monday, there's nothing that matches that feeling. I love that feeling. That's why, in my opinion, Monday is an underrated day. Monday is a good day of the week. It's following Thursday, but I'm still in on Monday.
So my whole thing is it's connected to the weekend. You're coming off of the potentially strong, weekend. You had a good weekend. You're floating into your Monday. I am also someone, similar to being the sociopath that goes to get his groceries and likes to go to the bank. I never, and some of it was the previous job, never had the Sunday scaries. It wasn't like a thing for me when I was a kid going to school. I liked going, and because the separation of, okay, this is what happens for me on the weekend. These are people that I only see during the week. Monday's the first day of which I get to see them, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've never had the whole like, oh, I don't, there's times where nobody always wants to go to work. I totally understand that. But I don't have that like existential dread about Mondays. No. I don't up and immediately have it's Monday.
I will say this,
the Garfield thing.
Like I am probably annoying the crap out of people on Monday morning because I'm just sitting there like, let's go. Yeah, like let's go.
You're chipper happer.
People come in a little sluggish. I've noted. I mean, most of the people around here, they come in a little bit sluggish and whatever. I'm like, come on, man, let's go, attack. Yeah. Let's do it. Like it's Monday. We got to hit this thing hard. So yeah, Monday is a big swing day, and then. I have no opinion on Wednesday. It's on a tier by itself. Wednesday is neither good nor bad.
See, I have it combined with Tuesday in a people hate us tier.
Yeah. I don't care about Wednesday.
These are the two worst days of the week.
Wednesday, I don't know for what reason, is better than Tuesday. Clearly for me.
Okay.
Tuesday is obviously the worst day of the week. Garbage tier all by itself. Welcome to Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree with that. I 100% have Tuesday.
But you're putting Wednesday with it.
But I put Wednesday with it.
Okay.
Because it's the middle of the week. It's hard for me to separate those two things. You're seemingly forever from the weekend. It's just I don't know. Those are the days for me that are just the bottom, clear bottom.
Couple thoughts from the texters. Cody writes in. He says, Monday is a great day per Connor, but ranks it 5 out of 7. That should just show you how much I love days.
Yeah.
I love life. I love living. Dan writes in, Tuesday is top tier behind the weekend. I can finally get my workflow going. Interesting. I've never, I mean, that's not my style.
So Monday's your setup day and Tuesday's your launching off day?
Yeah. What are you doing on Monday?
Just getting his bearings, I guess.
Just skipping Monday?
Well, I don't think he's skipping. Apparently it's like a prep day.
Tuesday is my I was too productive on Monday. I can't believe I did all that stuff, and I'm now tired.
Tuesday is the weekend seems forever
it's so
away.
far away.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Because you're always thinking about what you have coming up and whether you're excited about it or not. Yep. I almost never have anything on Tuesdays I'm particularly fired up about.
Yep.
There's no football on Tuesdays during the fall. That's another reason why it's behind these other days.
I'm actually okay with that part of it. I appreciate that there's a break from football on Tuesday. It just I mostly blame the NFL for this. There's just so much every night to keep up with now. Sure. Like I like the Tuesday break. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ideal. Like
Tuesday,
the ideal
Wednesday
for
break.
me is Thursday, Sunday, Monday. I don't need other days for the NFL. But I like when there's a random Friday night college football, not random anymore, the Friday night college football games. I don't dabble in Maction, but I don't, push back on those that do. But I loved when there was a random Tuesday, Monday night football game. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. It was a weird time, that's for sure. All right, now to months of the year. I have 5 tiers here as well.
4
tiers for months of the year for Schaefer. Tier number 1, all by itself. Elite month of the year. October.
Goat month, October, tier by itself. Yeah. No question.
I don't know.
You don't have to explain it.
I used to be, I will explain this part. I used to be like huge summer guy. I think I've softened my stance on weather. Like I think I more so appreciate 50s, 60s, and 70s than I do 80s, 90s, and 100s.
Right.
Like that has changed for me in my life. Maybe that happens with age. I don't know. I haven't been like that in the past. I now am. October is both the best weather month and the best sports month, which combines 2 things that I love dearly.
Yeah. I mean, you basically hit on everything.
All right. Tier number 2. These months were in elite consideration.
Yeah, this is my tier here is called contenders.
All right. There's 4.
I have 3.
September, May, March, June.
Okay. We have some differences here. So my contenders, my number 2 month is November. I love November.
Whoa.
I love everything about November.
November
is the closest comparison to October.
What about how gray it is?
I like the weather. The way the weather works.
I skew more September on the October scale. I skew more September than November.
So September, my problem is it's still too hot. October, this is an issue more with how our weather calendar has changed.
Oh, it's
because if we were doing this as kids, I would have different views on a lot of these months. but weather is different now than when I'm a kid. And no one can explain to me why this has happened, why everything feels like it's 3 to 4 weeks different. There's allegedly things going on that I believe in. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't exist, but it still hasn't been explained to me why things are like an entire month different now. And I'm not smart enough to understand how the ozone layer
you go with what
is part of all.
You go with what you got right
but
now.
I love November because you get sometimes the end of the World Series is in November. It's the start of college basketball. It is the peak college football month. I know October is thought of that way, but like there are some massively critical games, especially now with how things line up with college football playoff in November, peak conference play season. The NFL is great. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. The Black Friday game is my favorite Nebraska game and has been most of my life, even though they continually.
It's a good pitch for November.
I love November.
I just skew more September.
Understandable. September, I have 3rd here, and then I have March 4th. Those are my top 4 months.
So,
October, November, September, March.
Okay, so I had May and June in that tier, and you did not.
I did not.
I love May and June. I don't know. May, it's starting to really heat up a little bit. June is great. Even though it's not a great sports month, we got the College World Series. That's important to me. Next year, hit or miss. November, April, July. July could be good. July could be terrible.
Yep.
April could be good. April could have snow, and then November kind of the same deal for me. I like some of the things that happen in November, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows in November.
So this is the tier is called All Good. I might have to flip these. I think I need to have May 5th. I have May 6th right now.
Okay.
I have April 5th. I might flip those. I think I probably enjoy the weather of May more than April.
Yeah, May better
really
than April.
No other major difference there. Here is a curveball. I did this and I kept coming back to it. I put December ahead of June and July.
That's a hot take.
And I think
that's a very hot take.
I'm not like the biggest Christmas person, but I have a small child right now, and like just doing the Christmas thing with him, pretty phenomenal the last couple of years. That might be a very recency bias that changes over time, because otherwise December had been running kind of towards the back of this. I don't mind when it's hot, but July hit or miss is such a good point for that, because there are times
there's some good stuff going on in July.
Arguably the worst month of the summer. I usually reserve that for August because it's usually hotter and worse in August. But we have had some awful Julys in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing from this too, like August. So my next year is called boring.
Oh,
August is boring. Like August is boring and hot.
It's the in-between month.
Yeah.
You're at the end of summer and it's still summer, but you don't really get to think of it. The school schedule has changed. The football calendar isn't quite there yet. Like it's there. I just don't like anything about it.
August is one of the worst months of the football offseason, as I've mentioned many, many times in the show. And then I have December along with this. I know you wouldn't. I had to tier it with something. You wouldn't necessarily refer to December as boring because there's kind of a lot of stuff going on in December. Yeah. But if you think about it from a college football calendar standpoint, there's not much. There's not much going on. We have the holiday tournaments for college basketball, which are kind of everywhere and all the time. I do appreciate the thing about December is there's usually college basketball on during the day throughout this month, which is nice. I like feast.
I think December has a good vibe to it. Like I think people are in a good mood in December because they haven't hit like this is spoiler here. Months 11 and 12 for me are January, February,
100%, and in that order.
And then I have August as it comes in 10th. But part of it is I think people are in a good spirits in December. You have the holiday parties. You have high school holiday tournaments.
It's wildly different. Like there's either good spirits or terrible spirits.
Yeah,
it's a polarizing.
I'm just saying. I think it needs to be more in hit or miss.
Okay.
Than boring.
You make a good point. You might be right, but then I'd have to put it in front of August, which I'm not 100%
ready
sure
to do yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but August, January, February, my worst. Those are the worst.
August, December, January, February has how my last 4 go. So there you go. There's our months of the year. By the way, we received a YouTube comment from, let's see here, Rudy the Boxer, a dog, comments in on the YouTube.
Whoa!
Let me know when we start talking about sports. Should we message him?
Okay. We'll let them know.
Guess what? It's not going to be in the next segment either. So see you later, dog.
What do we think? 8 a.m.?
Yeah, probably 8.
Rudy, come back at 8.
That'd be my guess. Nobody writes in. September is a good A-tier month. You could still swim some days in September. Swim months are important.
D-Pick says these tiers are brought to you by two dudes that don't have pools. We don't have pools.
No.
I can confirm. I've been to Happer's house. He doesn't have a pool. He's been to my house. I don't have a pool.
I like the idea of pools.
A pool would be fun.
Well, why do you have to have a pool in order to have an opinion?
Well, he's saying our opinion is clouded by the fact we don't have a pool.
Everybody has access to a pool, though.
Kind of.
You could go to a pool.
Everyone can go to a pool.
We've gone to a pool.
Yeah.
I go to the pool.
I love
during the
golf,
summer.
and that didn't raise the summer months for me any.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, fall golf.
These are all things
another
considered.
reason why October is amazing.
Yes.
You go play fall golf. Oh, the best.
It is fantastic.
Especially in this state when you get the leaves changing a little bit.
A little long sleeve going on.
Yeah.
But most importantly for your game, get your game right. That thing's gonna roll.
Yeah.
The roughs aren't as rough anymore.
Little extra run.
Sindelar, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Grass. He's with us in the YouTube right now. Ooh. Tell me about how those roughs work in October. A little bit better. Just a little bit better for the game. All right, those are our tier lists for today. Joey, is everything back on track?
Should be
from where you sit.
Should be.
Joey's like Joey is the half producer of the show and half putting out fires guy.
You know, when the next time I get asked, hey, how are things going? I'm like, we might need a new producer, and they're gonna look at me and be like, what are you talking about? Everything
He's doing an incredible job.
Well, Joey's also being the engineer and the janitor, and
we just need to duplicate him a couple of times.
Yeah, we do.
We're how many graphics are we missing out on because Joey has to make sure that other stations are on the air?
Definitely missing out on the social media graphic for our tier rankings.
Oh, we can still send those to you. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Joey has to be here for the next segment. So nothing go wrong outside.
You can't leave
of these walls. His headlines are coming up after this. Here's a text from Ralphie. August should be higher. Football anticipation is at peak and everyone's team is winning the chip. Fantasy football drafts and mock drafts, kids going back to school, high school football 2-a-days. Ralphie. Also, Tony is what this is from a couple days ago. Tony is what I'm excited for. A prediction of 32 total touchdowns and 15 turnovers. That's what we're talking about on Friday. You know what, Ralphie? You seem like a guy who might want to go to the Oregon game.
I was just going to give Ralphie.
Give him one of yours.
Ralphie, you get a spot in the Oregon sweeps.
Yeah. You get, to be clear, you don't get to go to the Oregon game yet. You just get a drawing entry into like a raffle ticket.
So
give it to Ralphie.
When he's allowed to produce, Joey will look into getting your information.
He's checking out the text line right now.
Here we go.
You see him? See him, Joey?
Looking for him right now.
He's right at the top. He doesn't have a name in the text line for some reason.
We want to make Ralphie's August even better, even if Connor and I don't love them.
Looks like Ralphie has also previously maybe sent a picture of himself for a drive up to Minnesota drinking a White Monster, which is exciting. We're giving Ralphie a raffle ticket, which is fantastic. All right, Joey, we'll put that on hold for at least a second because we have to get to the headlines.
Yeah, we gotta get to the headlines. Anyway, headline number 1: U.S. hires over 2,000 video gamers as air traffic controllers. Oh no,
too political. I'm interested though.
Yeah, I definitely have interest. I definitely know why this is happening.
You ever thought about dropping it all and becoming an air traffic controller?
Those people, the stress is insane.
Yeah, the only exposure I have to it is from that Breaking Bad episode.
I was going to say, which
did not turn out well for that guy.
No.
Headline number 2: driver who broke the sound barrier attempts another land speed record in Utah.
While interesting, I think we're going to the air traffic.
Yeah,
I figured.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being kind. I'm not even remotely interested in the land speed barrier guy.
Give
me the air traffic.
Not even remotely interested in the land speed guy. The U.S. government says it has hired over 2,000 video gamers as air traffic controllers. The Department of Transportation announced a recruiting program in April to employ fans of computer games to safeguard U.S. aviation. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, reported on Sunday that 94% of the hiring goal has been met, with the most ever employed in a single year. He wrote in a social media post, 2,000 plus best and brightest candidates in the pipeline, reaching the academy quicker than any class before them, thanks to the most streamlined hiring process. Wow. Take a victory lap, why don't you? Duffy added in his post, in April, we launched a new campaign to recruit video gamers as air traffic controllers and supercharged the entire hiring process to get the best and brightest in faster. The results are historic. Man, this guy loves victory laps. He's very excited about his hiring process.
I am not saying anything.
So I will tell you that there are, like, in the flight simulator community, I bought the flight simulator game from a couple of years ago, and because I enjoy airplanes and I enjoy flying, and I enjoy seeing the airports and things like that. And I knew about all those things at a very, very basic surface level. And I started to at least uncover some of the other levels as you go deeper down and down and down throughout the layers of aviation and online aviation in particular. I don't know even 1% of what's going on. These people actually play the game and talk like it's real life, because they do have real life air traffic. They have real life air traffic on the game.
Wow.
So you could play it like it's real. So it's not surprising to me that there's a bunch of people who are qualified and advanced through the process very fast in this.
All right. Well, if this makes sure that we are stocked with competent, great air traffic controllers,
maybe,
what a huge win.
Yeah.
Plus, what a great win for all of the kids who grew up playing video games and were told they'd make nothing of themselves. Now they're air traffic controllers, and our country couldn't function without them.
Duffy said, to reach the next generation of air traffic controllers, we need to adapt. This campaign's innovative communication style and focus on gaming taps into a growing demographic of young adults who have many of the hard skills it takes to be a successful controller, which I don't even know what those skills
Demonstrated high cognitive functions, multitasking, strategy, and problem solving.
are. Okay. And they were just watching the flight sim,
I guess,
logs, and they were like, this guy rocks.
It's interesting because I don't even know that they were playing. They didn't target necessarily people playing the Sims so much, not the Sims, but the flight sims.
Yeah.
They were just targeting gamers in general because of the way that your brain sort of quickly responds and reacts.
Interesting.
Which is what I have to assume. Quick response.
Now the question is
a massive deal for a control.
When they get placed in the towers, do they stream it on Twitch?
Seems like that would go against some sort of
probably
guidelines.
Probably. I mean, they do have.
I'll be honest. I don't want people streaming from the towers.
No, probably not.
I would rather their sole focus being on getting the planes where they need to go.
I thought about buying that. So you can buy, or maybe somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe you can buy like the live ATC for whatever you want. Like it basically pairs along with a flight tracker.
Sure.
And you're like, let's check and see what their communication is like on here. Now, some pilots I think can turn it on and off. Like they don't want it broadcast out to the world or whatever it is. But at a certain point it becomes like public record or whatever. Like you could listen to that. You could sit there and listen to that all day long, which honestly, maybe I need some stuff to listen to while I mow or whatever. Like that'd be kind of fun. Just listen to ATC above my head.
We have different strategies when it comes to listening to something when mowing, but that cop's going fast.
What are you listening to while you're
usually
mowing?
Podcasts, baseball games, or occasionally music, I guess.
Okay.
Audiobooks.
I was listening to music yesterday and I was thinking, man, I'm not being very productive right now. I want to listen to air traffic control.
Do you think that would make you more productive?
I don't know. Probably
I feel like you get stuck on stuff.
It's equally a waste of time, probably.
Probably.
As music. If you view music as a waste of time.
I don't know if I view it as a waste of time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that I view air traffic controller communication as a waste of time. I just don't know like that it would give me the same sort of endorphins, I guess, when I'm mowing.
I'd probably just get curious and start Googling a bunch of stuff after I get done mowing.
Because what I want when I'm mowing is to be able to effectively go into autopilot mode where I don't even think about the fact that I'm mowing and I'm just enjoying whatever I'm listening to, which is either a discussion or a book or a music or whatever. But I think air traffic controller chatter would just cause me to stop, get my phone out, and then be focused on that and not the mowing.
Nobody writes in. My only concern is this campaign appeals to the generation who can't microwave a Hot Pocket without live streaming it. So maybe they'll have to at some point live stream the ATC.
This brings up an interesting question. When's the last time you ate a Hot Pocket?
It's been years.
Yeah, I
can't remember the last time I bought a Hot Pocket, so I definitely can't remember the last time I ate one.
We might be.
Should I bring some
pre-COVID?
Future?
I'm sure they're good.
I had a strudel sometime in the last year, like a toaster strudel.
That is close, but it's not a Hot Pocket.
No, I'm not trying to say it's the same, but it's like there was stuff that I used to eat, and then now I don't even know the last time. I think it's pre-COVID.
Yeah, we just buy a bunch of Hot Pockets and then burn the roof of my mouth.
Yeah,
and I haven't had that sensation probably since I was in college. It's probably been 10 years.
I would bet it tastes the exact same.
It has to.
Yeah.
Do you still eat Hot Pockets, Joey?
No, I was just suggesting I should just go get some, and we all have some Hot Pockets.
Huh. We could all have Hot Pockets together.
Might as well.
Happer and Schaefer eat Hot Pockets.
Seems like a great
Joey.
review opportunity.
It does. But people will get mad at us because it's not
this
talking
new
about
societal
sports.
Craze. Hot Pockets.
F3 Walleye writes in, no one eats Hot Pockets. They eat your mouth. They
sure
really, truly do. But you got to let it cool off, or maybe pop it open and then let it cool off. All right. Those are the headlines from our dear friend Joey, and no further information about the guy who's trying to break the land speed records in Utah.
None
at all. Mitch Sherman's going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour, Jacob Padilla in the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to hear from Matt Rule when we return, and a couple more things. We always want to hear from you. 402-951-1620. Be right back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, just about 8 o'clock here on a Tuesday morning. The worst day of the week. Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer. And then for some of the show, Joey Warcola is with us. when he disappears on the screen, that's when
you'll see me disappear through the reflection of the window behind Connor and Mike. So if you're watching on the YouTube stream and you see my screen disappear, you'll just see where I'm headed off to.
But we have eyes and ears everywhere, and so let's take a phone call on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. This is Dal. Good morning, Dal.
It's Val, V as in victory, A-L, but that's okay.
Val! That makes more sense than Dal.
Okay.
Well, except I work for Delta Airlines, whose initials would be DAL, so that's all right.
Okay.
That works too.
Yeah. Listen, a couple of things for you. They're both free programs. There's a live flight tracker that you can watch, and you'll see every airplane aloft anywhere in the world.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Don't worry, Val.
Okay. And there's also a live ATC.net, which gives you air traffic control all around the country.
Is that free?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna do that then.
Yeah. And the other, I know running out of time, but the last thing is Christmas travel is the worst. I worked in Salt Lake City, which was a hub for Delta Airlines, and I would venture to say that more than 50% of the people were not traveling on purpose.
Are you
they were traveling to meet families or whatever, and the people were just so grumpy and awful. It made it tough on the agents working there. Plus, you get weather all around the country. So although you might be clear in your city where your airplane is coming from, it's snowed in.
It's true. There's other people.
And it's all your fault.
You're right. That's tough. Right. Which is why Christmas or December went down my power rankings of months. So Val, are you a controller or or what do you do?
Well, I'm retired now. I had 34 plus years in the airline industry, lived in all 4 time zones while doing that. And I do have a private pilot rating.
Nice.
So I have a great interest in that. And I had some friends that were working air traffic control. In fact, one of them was in Southern California in the Orange County area. And he had some interesting stories about handling Air Force One. And also a couple of times there were unknown blips on the radar.
Oh, man. The stories.
I like this. This is
Fantastic.
great. So what was your experience in the airline industry? As a gate agent, or did you work all over the place?
I started off in flight operations with Western Airlines in Los Angeles, which is where all the flight plans were made up and kept track of the airplanes. I went from there to reservations, and I liked that because I liked working with the computer. I worked reservations in Los Angeles and Miami and Salt Lake City and Denver, and I got tired of that. I had one year Labor Day I was working in Denver, and a cute young thing sounded about age 21, called up. She said, "I don't want to make a reservation right now. I just need some information." Fine. Is Christmas going to be on December 25th again this year? I said, yes, it is. And I hung up the phone and I got up and I got my transfer papers to the airport.
Said, I'm out of here. I can't answer questions like this anymore.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was it for me. And I went to Salt Lake and I worked as a gate agent. I worked as a ticket counter agent. I worked as an operations in Salt Lake. We had so many flights that once a plane left the active runway, we took over control of it and guided it into its gate, etc. And I worked up in that tower. We were about 14 stories up. I like that.
Well, Val, this is great. Thank you for the call.
Hey, Val, would you want to go to Oregon? You'd have to take a plane to go to Oregon. We'd love to enter you into this contest.
We'll put you in the drawing. We'll get you an
Hang
opportunity.
on the line, Joey will grab your information. He doesn't have anything else he needs to do right now.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Val. Appreciate it. Val, once again.
Great call.
Great call from Val.
We love hearing. I
like logistics. I like like the order of how things work and things of that nature. Like airline stuff, endlessly fascinating to me.
Well, it's that, but it's also because I think I've never had a real job, or largely have avoided having a real job. I've written about railroad newsletters, college football teams, and now I'm on sports talk radio.
Yeah, it's all fake.
With a small foray into donut making in there at one point in time. So I've never had real job. I love people talking about what they do for work. I love getting into the process of what they do or what it is. We could have people call in with random professions. I would be enthralled. Just absolutely enthralled. If you called in and told us about your job, I would have at least 3 questions for you immediately.
That is a great idea for a segment. Now we're feeling we have a lot of segments now, but if we reserved one segment a week for just call in and tell us about your job,
Yeah.
like, do you think we could get 3 people to call in every week? I bet we could.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of like how we structure it, but I would love this.
Yeah.
I mean, anything. And I literally mean anything. You could drive the bus for the city, and I would have questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
You could,
No, trust
whatever
me.
it is that you're
he
doing.
would. Yeah.
I want to know about.
John writes in Western Airlines. Val is apparently 113 years old. He might
It
be.
might be.
He might be. Man, I am like all the airlines that
I don't know if it was that or the pretty young thing that might have
that was a
given it
great
away.
line.
Yeah.
That was a great line. But the airlines that have all gone by the wayside because they've been gobbled up by all the other airlines,
Mhm.
all the old planes and stuff like that. I'm endlessly fascinated at all that stuff. I
No
don't know.
doubt.
This is a pro plane show.
Very pro plane.
There's no doubt about that. All right. So Joey's getting Val hooked up right now, so we can't play this video at the moment. I do want to there was one or two things that I wanted to pass along here. In the video stream. No, it wasn't there. All right, well, we can get it now anyway. So let's play this video on the stream. You'll be able to hear it on the radio. Here's Matt Rule. Yes, football coach Matt
Hey,
Rule.
Rudy, get back here.
Football coach Matt Rule. Rudy, come back because we're talking about sports again. He was asked a question about this was about Jeremiah Charles initially, and he's in the mix with some of the other guys in that defensive backfield, and there's a couple interesting position battles that we'll talk about after this. Rule kind of passed along something interesting that I wanted to get your thought on, Schaefer. So here's Matt Rule in his Saturday press conference.
I'm kind of at a point with this team where I'm like, hey, the starters are going to be the starters, but like we need guys who can play significant roles. And so, if that means we can play 3 corners, if that means if we can, him emerging at corner allowed us to move Donnie into nickel, which, makes a big difference to have a guy that's as big and fast and explosive and smart as Donnie is. So I'm very excited to see what Jeremiah does come this season.
So you heard him there. He said, I'm basically at the point with this team where the starters are the starters and we're looking for guys to play roles. Not that it's all decided and it's whatever, but I do think that goes hand in hand with some of the stuff that we talked about this offseason with this team, which is there are a lot of experienced guys.
Yeah.
And if you looked around the roster right now, if you wanted to create a depth chart off the fly right now, honestly, we could probably do this. You could probably come pretty close.
Yeah, I would think so.
You could probably come pretty close to guessing what it's going to be. Now, I couldn't tell you all the guys who are going to give you minutes and are going to give you snaps this year, but the top guys, the top line, I think we could pretty much get there.
Yeah, well, I think I can't speak for you, or I don't want to speak for you, but to me, this is exactly what you'd want to hear at this stage.
I agree.
Of the season. I mean, they have an experienced team. You retained a chunk of your roster. You spent more retaining your roster than you did going out and seeking outside help because you believe in what you have here. I would hope that means that you feel set up with who your starters are, because there really shouldn't be that many position battles. And the position battles that there are exactly lines up with what he's discussing here, which is trying to identify roles. It's what, is Jeremiah Charles able to hold off Danny Odom and Amari Sanders and the handful of guys there at corner to play opposite of Andrew Marshall? At running back, to find out the roles. We have this guy that we want in short yardage situations. We have our guy that we want in more passing packages. We have the guy that we want for more first and second down runs or whatever it is. So this is exactly what I think you'd want to hear at this time of year.
Agreed.
With a team that, whether, like we spend a lot of time talking about who Nebraska is going to play, and sometimes I think we spend more time talking about who they're going to play than who Nebraska is themselves, which is the larger part of that equation to me always. But if this is a veteran team, if this is a team that has defined starters as to who these guys are, and you brought them here to either be starters or they have been starters here for a while, this is exactly the sort of jumping off point where you need to be at.
Yeah.
If you're a veteran team. So I am glad that they're there.
They're old. I mean, they're
You
definitively.
spent so much time talking about needing to get old. Well, now you're old.
They actually got old. Yeah.
You got to get old, and now you need to get old and win.
Right.
To get
Get
you
old and
can't-
good.
There's been so much put into getting old, And almost to the point that you forget that part of the reason that you need to get old is that you're experienced and that you go win some of these games so that when you do have the second half of a back and back, and I heard you and Severe talking about this, and he mentioned that I picked Rutgers to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Rutgers to win that game because Nebraska has to prove that they can win the second half of a back-to-back road trip.
Right.
But you're a veteran team. It shouldn't be new.
Yeah.
This isn't, and you should have, emphasis here, should have all of the memories and the feelings of going to Minnesota and getting your ass kicked on the back half of back and back when you never should have lost that game.
Right. And so like there's a whole lot of guys in this roster who have started before at other places. And I think as we go on, this will matter, as far as getting your team to gel a little bit. We talked a lot about Nebraska's non-con and how we think they're going to be able to win those 3 games to start things off. So I think there'll be less and less conversation about, the portal guys who are getting kind of mixed in and stuff like that. Like everybody's got it. And so Severe and I were talking about it yesterday. Like it's basically 50-50 for guys in the 2 deep who are transfers and who are not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a pretty normal number.
Yeah.
For
I
Nebraska.
think and those of the transfer portal guys, like this sounds weird. If you're a second-year player out of the transfer portal, I don't even really think of you as transfer portal.
Exactly.
Anymore. Yeah. So it's like a weird. That's just an avenue to get a multi-year player on your roster.
And so, all that being said, they have experience. They know. We basically know who the guys are. I mean, we could do it right now. You know who your quarterback is.
Calandria.
You know who your top 3 wide receivers are.
Barney, Hunter, and Gilmore.
You know who your top tight end is.
Gilmer.
You know who definitely 4 out of the 5, I think, offensive linemen are.
I think the biggest question is Gatula and Babalade.
Right. You know who the 3 middle linebackers who are going to play are Chambliss,
Shavers, and Foster.
And you know that Andrew Marshall is starting at one of the corner spots.
Dwayne McDougal is starting in one of the safety spots.
I think so.
I feel pretty confident that he would be.
Maybe we'll see. And then the other corner is up for grabs. You have Winery on the edge. You have Lenhart on the other edge, and you have like 4 or 5 defensive tackles basically that you're going to mix in there, like
right.
Van Poppel and Whittington and Stoudemire and probably a couple other Petschok,
Tyson Terry.
I mean, that's kind of that. Yeah. Those are kind of your guys.
I think we know the names.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have either been here for a while or are here for their second year or whatever it is, and they were brought here to be good.
Right.
That's the other part of all of this is it's like, okay, you're now in your 4th season. You've had an opportunity to implement both your strategy of what you're evaluating and who you want to bring in, but they've been able to get older here. You haven't had a ton of turnover roster-wise. This is where your commitment to nutrition, your commitment to strength and conditioning, your commitment to development, like this is all what it should be paying off. Like this is when Ja'Cory Barney should be maybe at his apex. This is when you should get Riley Van Poppel as the best fully formed version of him, assuming the coaching lines up with whatever else it is. But this is go time. For both Matt Rule and a handful of guys on this roster, your 4th-year juniors or your 3rd-year sophomores, I mean, you've been there for a while. It's time to prove why you're here in the first place.
I'm very excited to see what comes out of, the media will have their takeaways from the open portion of practice today.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear from some guys on the defensive side. Rob Orich is going to talk today. As you and I, our conversations have sort of like skewed toward the defense over the last couple of weeks. We've heard nothing but good things about Orich, and I'm sure there will be this weird headline-grabbing conversation about him being a mad scientist or whatever. But like he
goes into the lab.
The thing that Rule says about him is his teaching progression. So, like if I was at open practice today, I'd be watching Orich very, very closely to see how that's working. And all of the stuff that we've heard so far about the defense is that it is, which is why I am high on the defense, even though it doesn't look like on paper there was like this giant upgrade in talent. Right. I just think there'll be a lot more put together. So I'm curious to hear from Orich, and then Tyler Yoke will be speaking as well today.
And to add what you're saying there, another reason why I would be high on the defense is it's an actual system. It's not some sort of hybrid thing that you cobbled together with the island of misfit toys. It's a guy who's run this at multiple different stops and has proven that he can transfer it in a relatively quick
I just think it's a very college environment.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was they even talked about it before the year. It was an NFL style type of thing where, it's not so much about the system. It's about, putting the guys in,
Right.
they would say putting the guys in position to make whatever it might be. Here, it's kind of about the system, which I think is a very college thing to do, right? And it's something
This
that
is what we run. Here's how you fit in it. This is what you're supposed to do.
and
Go
we
make the
will,
play.
after over years and years and years, we will recruit to it.
Yep.
And it will eventually look like this is just what we do. And it'll be as good as an NFL type of system. So that's coming up. The open window today will be at about 10:30. So expect some tweets from some reporters with some video around 11 o'clock, just so you guys are aware. Here's a list that you do not want to be on. Our friend Cody Nagel wrote this list yesterday. Are FCS versus Power 4 upsets extinct? 5 potential shockers in 2026 that could end the drought. Guess who's on the front page?
Oh, no.
Matt Rule. He's right. He is the headline picture. So I found these stats interesting, and I'll tell you what he's got on the list in a second. These stats are fast. Well, actually, you could pretty much you could pretty much figure it out. Nebraska, North Dakota is one of the games that is on this list of potential upsets. Did you know, though, Mike Schaefer, that Power 4 versus FCS teams last year were 60-0?
Yeah, I believe that.
60-0. There was none of them last year. Did you know the year before that, Power 5 versus FCS teams were 58-0?
Yeah, I believe that too.
Did you know the year before that, 2023, that Power 5 versus FCS teams were 52-1?
I did not know that because I didn't know the approximate. All of this is believable though, and it all follows the same line of logic, which is to say, if we already believe that there's a widening gap between the power conferences and the group of 5 conferences, there would be an even larger gap that exists between the power conference teams and FCS teams, because in theory, and only in theory, FCS teams are supposed to be worse than the group of 5 teams.
Power conference teams have won 125 straight games against FCS competition. The last upset came in week 4 of the 2023 season. When? Do you remember that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you want to know who got beat, or do you want to know who won the game?
Can you give me the conference of the team that got beat?
Currently, this will give it away. Currently in the ACC.
Okay, so they moved from somewhere else, which makes it feel like it was Cal.
The other one.
It was Stanford?
Yep.
Oh, wow. To Cal Poly.
They lost very close.
UC Davis.
Further away.
I don't know anything about Cal schools.
I know the direction of Cal.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, it's bad.
I'm thinking further away. The same color as Cal Poly.
Sacramento State?
You got it.
Okay.
Sacramento State beat Stanford 30-23 in week 4. Of course, hilariously, Sacramento State is now an FBS school.
Yeah.
But that was the last FCS to Power 5 upset. That was in week 4 of 2023. Since the first full year of the NIL era in 2022, FBS Power Conference teams are 223-2 against FCS opponents. Compare that to the 16 seasons prior, 2006 to 2021, when Power Conference teams were just 747-38. That's a little over 95% winning percentage against FCS opponents. And the shift has, been pretty drastic here, where FCS, like Power 5 teams, don't lose these games anymore. Yeah. It's not odd, but the data is pretty overwhelming. 4 seasons and only 2 losses and more than 200 wins over that period of time. But with that being said, there are 5 potential upsets to break the streak this year, according to our friend Cody Nagel. And here they are. South Dakota State, Northwestern. I could see that. Youngstown State, Kentucky. That'd be funny if Kenny Minchie lost. North Dakota at Nebraska. Tennessee Tech at Mississippi State, and Austin P at Vanderbilt. Mostly what we're talking about here is like top 10-ish FCS teams who are going into potentially vulnerable, Power 5 schools. That's why Nebraska and North Dakota shows up on this list.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, we've seen Nebraska now. North Dakota is better than Houston Christian. North Dakota is better than Northern Iowa from 2024. Nebraska didn't play well in that Northern Iowa game and still won 31-3. They demolished Houston. Like, they haven't shown a tendency to, under Matt Rule, like, they haven't played with their food in these games.
Mm-hmm.
They've kind of demolished teams that they're supposed to. Even when they have Heinrich Harburg as quarterback, like those games weren't close.
For the record, I don't bring this up because I'm concerned at all about Nebraska. Yeah. I bring this up because I find the statistics interesting.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm just saying, like, because people will say this, but
I have no concern about Nebraska against North Dakota.
They're like, oh, this is a top 10 FCS team, and it's like they had a really nice year last year where 4 of their 5 losses were inside of like 5 points. They had, they took Kansas State to the wire. They lost 38-35 last year to Kansas State. I think Nebraska is set up to be more successful in these games than, in the Bo Pelini era. It seemed like whenever they played these types of teams, McNeese State, South Dakota State, they kind of like just
that
didn't
team
really bring their A game at any point.
You know why? I mean, those teams were really emotional, and they didn't bring it emotionally on those days.
Well, they just showed up and thought that they were going to roll, and then Zach Zenner's running all over.
Yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily the feeling around Nebraska's locker room right now. But anyway, John writes in. He says, "So are you saying that Nebraska is going to break a 105 game streak this year? Then no, I am not. In fact, I'll make a prediction. An FCS team is not beating a Power 5 team this year.
Okay.
We are going to go on our 3rd straight year.
I don't feel follow you on that prediction.
Don't feel like I'm going out on very much of a limb here. By the way, group of 5 teams against FCS teams last year were 62-4, which, I mean, there was only 4 FCS upsets against FBS teams at all last year.
That's incredible.
And as we know, these games are more prevalent than ever.
Oh yeah,
and everybody's playing an FCS
right
now. And so there was only 4 the entire year last year, and they were all against group of 5 teams.
I wonder who the 4 were.
I wonder who the 4 were as well. I wonder how easily
who were the 4?
I don't know how easily we would be able to find that, but yeah. And 0 against Power 5 competition. There you go. A list that you don't want to be on, but I'm not concerned about Nebraska. Put it on the internet. I am not concerned about Nebraska against North Dakota. We will hear from Mitch Sherman in just a second. Here's a text. Lane writes in. He says, they look good against the 3 glorified high school teams to start the year. The question is, how do they look in Big Ten play? Can they make the winning plays? We keep hearing about Campbell and the strength and conditioning here, but second halves in Big Ten games and second halves of seasons have been very underwhelming. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, people kind of overcook the whole, like, I think everybody's got a strength and conditioning program that is good. And like, just because you're bad in the second half of games or in the second half of seasons, it's not a direct reflection on your strength and conditioning situation. It could just be a reflection that you're not as good or you have some.
To me, it's more of a reflection of your direct coaching.
Sure.
So
there's definitely some situations where
maybe Rob Orich brings something to the table to help with second half adjustments that weren't happening.
I just think he's like, what they talk about when they talk about him being a mad scientist is the sort of mechanical nature in which he goes about his business.
Yeah.
Like this, he has an answer to all these questions because they're all science problems, right? Like here's the answer. We could get this by getting this. And so he's going to keep them on track. The defense just lost focus last year. It got so far off the rails that, you're trying to get it all back in one, and then you got different guys.
And then you're overcompensating for your lack of pass rush.
100%. It all has to work in concert. Right. And I just think it will this year. Not to say that they're going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be pretty good.
It's really hard. Have you found this? I am optimistic about the defense.
I am too.
However, it is hard to explain not why I am optimistic, just like what the level of expectation that this optimism has created. Because often I'll just say things like, yeah, I just think they're going to be a top 40 defense. And then I have to think about, well, do I mean by yards allowed, points allowed, havoc stat? Like there's all these different ways to measure it. And ultimately what I'm really saying is the most annoying thing, which is you just kind of know it when you see it. And I think they're going to have a know it when you see it good defense.
Their defense is salty.
Yeah.
Like I want to be.
I think there'll be some salt. I think they'll force some turnovers. I think they will look better.
At some point during this season, I want to say, ooh, that defense is pretty salty.
Yeah. And yet
That's
at
how
the
you
same
know.
time, I don't know that they're going to be so good that they just go to Eugene and all of a sudden that game turns into a toss-up by any means. Like, I think that they can have a good defense and still be in a tough position because overall some of the teams that they play are just significantly better. So I don't want to like make it seem like I'm over my skis.
I also think their defense will keep them in some games like that too.
Well, I kind of expect that maybe you win the Illinois game because your defense is so strong against a so-so offense that allows you to eke out a 17-13 Friday win.
We will get Mitch Sherman's opinion on this as he joins the show. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone. All right, back on a Tuesday morning, Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. We are joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by our good friend Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, even though it's the worst day of the week.
It is the worst day of the week. Thank you.
Was that a conversation, by the way, about all weeks of the year, or was it specific to football season?
That was
All
a
weeks of
general
the year,
all
yeah.
weeks of the year.
Though
yes.
a lot of
'Cause
why
for me-
stuff was football for me.
Because for me, Sundays are totally different. Sundays are like 6 or 7 for me in football season, like almost the worst day of the week.
Whoa.
But the rest of the year, like right now, not yet football season. I mean, when games are played, and it's the day after a game. Those days are long and just very, very can be stressful, and just there's no game. You're farthest away from another game. I don't like Sundays during football season most of the time, but
man.
the rest of the year they're nice. So there's a difference in ranking. Like Friday, Saturday is pretty much my 1-2 all year.
When I discovered the NFL, which was like not very long ago, my Sundays immediately changed. I was like, wow, this is actually great. But I don't have to really do I don't have to write stuff or track down anything on
Yeah.
Sunday, which is great.
I mean, it makes it even worse because I'll be busy and the NFL's on and I'm not able to pay attention to it like I want to.
Sad.
Sunday night's okay because I'm usually at that point clear of things and I can sit down. If the Sunday night game is bad,
Would you say you're
Then
waiting
that
all
makes
day
things-
for Sunday night?
I could be sometimes. And then if the game's bad, like if it's not even a matchup that I want, or if it starts out and it's 21-0 in the first quarter, like then that makes it even worse. It's like I've been waiting all day for this game. I had to not pay attention to the other games like I wanted to, and this game can't live up to. That's why Thursday night games can be so bad because you're excited. It's the one game and in a long stretch, and then the game often ends up bad.
Mitch, on this Tuesday, on this horrible Tuesday, we will have some availability to watch practice. We've been talking a lot about the defense over the last few shows here, Schaefer and I. How would you describe at this moment your optimism or pessimism or whatever it is about Nebraska's defense looking ahead to this season, which starts in a couple of weeks?
A lot of uncertainty, I think. I think the feeling of having a first-year coordinator, and it's not so much the scheme. I know there was the question in Matt Rule's answer that got some attention on Saturday about changing to a 4-2-5, and he immediately said, nope, not a big deal. It's not so much that. Like, I don't really think there's a tremendous amount of difference in the scheme, and that can get over-discussed. It's more just the personnel and then coaching personnel that, for me, makes this a transition that it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to snap your fingers and like this defense is going to look like what Rob Orridge eventually wants it to look like. Like he's done a nice job in his first season as a coordinator at his 2 previous stops. But I don't know like how much this is something that we can ask him about today. Like how much of that and the success that he saw in making the transition to a new school, like how much of that is just transferable to Nebraska, where the landscape is undeniably different. You're dealing with a different level of competition. You're dealing with a different type of player. Your transfers are more a part of it. There was, I guess all 3 places that he's been, including Nebraska, in Division I as a defensive coordinator, had a lot of deficiencies in the defense the year before he arrived. So that's probably something that carries over. But I just have a lot of questions still, and that's probably not unexpected because until today we will not have seen them practice since March. And at that point, Orridge was just getting his feet on the ground.
I am curious. What do you think this year looks like for a guy like Vincent Shavers? Because if you go back a year ago, there's a lot of excitement about him. He's a guy who was very, very talkative and confident going into the bowl game for the Pinstripe Bowl. And so there's a lot of enthusiasm about this young guy playing the linebacker spot. He had the nice hit that causes a fumble against Cincinnati. He has a solid start to the year. Then he kind of gets hurt, and then he sort of just falls off the radar. Now Owen Chambliss comes in, Dexter Foster comes in. I feel like we haven't talked a lot about Vincent Shavers. What kind of year do you think he could have? Is that a guy that might surprise people in your mind?
I don't think he wouldn't surprise me if he has a bounce back year and has a really good year. I mean, we don't know like how much he was limited by the injury last year. Was it something where he was playing at 40% or 80%? And, you know, players need to find ways to make plays. I do think that he was held back because there wasn't enough push in front of him. And again, like if you're a great player at that second level, you're going to be limited if your defensive line is getting its lunch handed to it on a regular basis, but you still got to find a way to make plays. And he did in that Cincinnati game. You know, a back gets outside, gets loose, and he made a play. He put his helmet on the ball, forced a fumble, led to a touchdown, a huge play in that game. Like it helped Nebraska win that game. Maybe Nebraska doesn't win that game without the play that he makes. And I expected those kind of things to happen with Shavers throughout the season. And really after that opener, you didn't see as much of it. I'm not exactly sure if it was more related to struggles up front or if it was just him not being close to 100%. But I think whatever that was, it's going to be better this year. If it's a combination of those two things or one, it's going to be better this year with the defensive line in a better spot and being better coached. And, you know, as long as he stays healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a guy that we're talking about in October and saying, yeah, he's really come back strong. And Chambliss is going to play. I don't know as much about Foster yet, but I've heard good things. I think that there's room for all three of them and maybe a fourth to play those two inside spots.
So let's stick with the defense and spots. So Andrew Marshall, we're sure about. He's locking down one side at the corner spot. We know what the role is going to be for Donovan Jones, who is going to be a push inside as a nickel. There's the safety spots, which most people expect Dwayne McDougal to occupy one of those as the transfer from San Diego State. Is there how many open spots and how many players are we dealing with in the defensive secondary, as we go forward through camp here?
I think you laid it out. I think there's primarily two spots, be free safety and then that cornerback, that other cornerback spot. And at corner, heard and seen a lot of Jeremiah Charles early in camp, and he really does look like a different guy. And you expect that with somebody who's been in the program now for 3 years. Well, he's been up. Yeah, this is year 3. So you expect him to not look like he did in high school, and he doesn't. I mean, he's much bigger and stronger. I think more confident, understands the game better. When he came in, he was somebody that they recruited because he was a great athlete, and you know, they saw him dunk the basketball and watched him play that sport, and like, okay, this guy can be something down the road. And I think he's ready to be that now. And I think he's competing with Victor Evans, the transfer from Florida International. And
that's a name that's really popped out.
Yeah, that's a good battle right there. And there's also Danny Odom at that spot, who have not heard much about here early in camp. Want to watch him. I want to see what they're doing with him today when I'm out there on the practice field. Is he getting reps at the top, or is it just going to be a situation where it's like a normal true freshman where he's just going to be very limited in the playing time that he gets? Remember, none of these guys redshirt anymore, so they're all in line to play. But still, a lot of true freshmen won't see the field, or will see very limited action. And I want to know. I thought coming into the year that Odom would be in that category of players who was definitely contending, and I don't have any reason to believe he's not, but I've heard more about Evans and Charles so far in camp. And then at the safety spot, I mean, Jameer Khan's got the lead there. I think that the fact that Nebraska chose to have him speak on behalf of the defense last week is a good sign for him. And we've heard Orich and Addison Williams and Rule talk about his versatility, Jameer Khan's versatility. He's a guy, I mean, he played for Jamar Mosey in high school, and just always maybe not had as much expected of him because he lacks some size, but he just makes plays. Like, he's one of those defenders who will find his way to the football, and he's versatile too. So I think he's in the best spot there at that free safety spot, but there are some others. I mean, you can I don't Rex Guthrie, Caleb Benning. I mean, if those safety spots are interchangeable, and maybe they are, maybe they're not in Orange's defense, but they were last year. If they're interchangeable, then maybe one or both of those players also end up getting reps, competing for reps with Khan and McDougal.
So we heard Matt Rule talk about that he kind of knows who his starters are, or he has a feel for who his starters are. He wants to see roles kind of develop. We've also heard a lot of talk about Janiran Bonner, and he's coming back from that injury.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of role do you think is realistic with Janiran Bonner in 2026? Because I think they were planning for a lot more from him in 2025. I just, with all the other bodies you have, do you see that reduced in 2026?
No, not really, because I think that he can replace a tight end on the field. And you heard Dana Holgerson allude to that last week, that they are not afraid to go with sets. And that may have been a message to the tight ends to get their acting gear. There's not as much competition at that spot because they don't have as many bodies. And if the way that Dana sees it, if that's led to some kind of lack of urgency, then I think he wants to get rid of that right away. I don't think you're going to see Nebraska in a bunch of 4 and 5 wide receiver sets this year, but they can do that. They can go 4 wide and have one back, have a 10 personnel, and Bonner can be on the field in that, and they can still be a team that's capable of running the football and blocking on the perimeter. That's not going to be necessarily a weakness just because you take a tight end or 2 tight ends off the field. So I think that's where he comes in when they go with 1 tight end or no tight ends, and he can be a hybrid at that spot. And Carter Nelson's the same way. I mean, he plays tight end, but I think they can move him. They can move him around, and he can do some things where, yeah, technically, like it's 11 personnel. You have Carter on the field with 1 running back, but really, he might be playing wide receiver in that set.
All right, Mitch, enjoy practice this morning. Take good notes.
Thank you. I will. You guys have a great day.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. The first day of open practice when the media all shows up and they have the takes. Can't wait to see the takes.
He's going to be takes.
Who looks big and in good shape? Somebody.
That's a usual one.
I always tried to not be in the same spot as everybody else.
Sure.
People gravitate toward whatever. I'm still seeing all the different things. I want to gravitate toward an area where nobody else is.
Where do you think people are going to immediately flock to?
Probably we got to get some shots at Calandria.
Yep.
We got to get some shots.
A lot
there.
of it is what you walk into, because obviously sometimes things are set up for you to see some stuff, and then sometimes set up for you to get absolutely nothing.
Sometimes they're hiding it. Maybe it's on the 3rd field in the way back, and you can't go over there. That's where the quarterbacks might be sometimes in the Scott Frost era.
Could be. Not that they were ever focused on things that weren't just winning football games.
Yeah, they definitely knew what mattered. If I know one thing about that staff, they had a great idea of that.
No doubt about it.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. A great giveaway that I have to tell you about. Not from us here at 1620 The Zone. This is in baseball tonight. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Jacob Padilla will join us at 9:15. Still plenty to come on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. Big night tonight on the south side of Chicago. That's right. The White Sox are good. And it's not just that, though. Tonight is Pope hat giveaway. The White Sox are celebrating the Pope's White Sox fandom by handing out limited edition Pope hats to all fans in attendance this evening. There are some other things that go along with this as well, including but not limited to a live mural painting celebrating the Pope's White Sox fandom in the center field concourse, a third inning hero of the game recognition, and my personal favorite, a fifth inning Peace Be With You, led by Evergreen Park and Marist High School alum Father Tom Hurley, featuring lifelong White Sox fan and comedian Pat McGann. That's right. They're doing a fifth inning Peace Be With You, where everybody gets up and shakes hands and say, "Peace be with you."
They're doing this at a stadium where the first base coach got jumped by fans.
That is true. It was
Peace
the
be
Royal,
with you
Tom
in the south side
Gamboa.
of Chicago.
Yeah.
Tom Gamboa gets run over and assaulted by a father-son tweaker duo.
But
Peace be with you.
maybe the Pope was there that night.
He might have been.
The current Pope was
He
there.
probably
that night.
gave him absolution.
I still can't believe that we have that video of the Pope in the 2005 World Series. So one of the most insane coincidences of all time.
Yeah, the White Sox have become increasingly annoying to me. It was kind of a fun story at the start. Now they're just continuing to beat Cleveland, who just sucks, and I hate it.
Well, I mean, in order for them to be good, they do have to do it at the expense of
But
someone.
They're like good in kind of an annoying way where they like Sam. Are you familiar with one of their players, Sam Antonucci or Antonucci?
Yeah. Antonucci, yeah.
He's like the classic try hard. He's Brett Gardner. He's basically replaced Brett Gardner. And I watch other major league players react to him like he's Brett Gardner.
That's not good.
I react to him like he's Brett Gardner. You don't want to be Brett Gardner. I'm just saying.
You do not want to be Brett Gardner.
They're the plucky fun is over.
I don't think
now I find him annoying.
Ultimately, I don't think we'll have to be concerned about. I mean, they will probably make the playoffs.
They should make the playoffs
at this point, but I don't.
Nobody else is winning in that division at the moment.
I don't think we'll have to be super concerned about them.
Oh, I don't think they're going to win a World Series by any means. But I liked it more when they were losing 100.
But they do have Pope power.
They do have Pope power.
And tonight, I don't know how many Pope hats they're giving away tonight, but this is exciting. I can't wait to see all the videos of people wearing Pope hats around the stadium.
We should ask Matt during the crossover, which I have a topic for us today.
Good.
We should ask him if he knows anyone that's going to get Pope hat today.
I would imagine
He's
so.
allegedly got these White Sox fans that he hates for a sport that he doesn't pay attention to.
Fans are encouraged to arrive in their seats 30 minutes before first pitch for the following pregame festivities.
Wow.
Pregame Chicago White Sox charities check presentation to the Midwest Augustinian province, the order to which Father Robert Prevost, the Pope, belonged while in Chicago, accepted by the father. Ceremonial first pitch by Sister Mary Jo Sobeek of the Dominican Sisters in Springfield. She was famous. I think she's thrown out a first pitch before. I couldn't quite get to the end of that story. A national anthem performance by iconic organist Nancy Faust. A take the field recognition featuring students from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy's Vatican recognized kids conclave as they join players from the White Sox starting lineup as their respective positions. An announcement of play ball by former White Sox pitcher Don the Pope Paul. It's Pope night at whatever that field is called now.
Guaranteed rate.
Guaranteed rate. No, rate.
Rate.
Just rate, right?
It's just rate field now.
I think that didn't they change it from
They get rid of
guaranteed rate
to
to
just rate.
I think they changed that
was
company
so cool.
guaranteed rate to just rate.
Yeah, you're right. It is just rate. When did that change happen?
A couple of years ago.
Wow.
Because I remember when they went from the guaranteed rate bowl to the rate bowl.
Remember when they were Comiskey, then U.S. Cellular, and now they're rate.
Rate.
Guaranteed rate to just rate. At no point has that stadium ever been good any of the times of which I visited.
Unfortunately, it is not.
Just like its team annoys me.
No, I agree. But Pope Night should be fun. Anyway,
Pope Night is a great celebration.
that's our Big East Pope that they're talking about. Of course, I talked to one of my Villanova friends Villanova fan friends.
One of the Villanova Happers.
He is very excited about the Pope Power and how it might affect Villanova in the coming years.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the Pope, we got everything. It might be back. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with our free balling. Jacob Adilla will still join the show, and plenty to come. The 9 o'clock hour on 1620 The Zone.
Free balling now, I'm free balling now, I'm
It's time for
free balling.
where the producer reads questions on things happening in the world of sports. Connor and Mike will have the answers.
Pete tweet. Northwestern football has received the commitment for a $35 million gift from the family of Liz and Dick Uline, which is set to come the next 3 years. The donation is intended for holistic football success, including recruiting support and broader program needs. This football gift by the Uline family, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, as it comes with Northwestern showing its financial commitment to compete in the Big Ten. That includes the private gifts to open the new Ryan Field at the cost of more than $850 million and the hire of offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. Well, they had to pony up to get Chip Kelly, huh? Look at that, $35 million. Here you go. Northwestern, here you go.
There you go.
Go in. I bet it won't help them very much.
Here's your money.
$35 million over 3 years, right?
I hope they have some success.
Yeah, they might.
All right, what do we got?
They might.
What are we balling with today, Joey?
Okay, guys, check out this tweet from Chad Johnson, or known as Ocho Cinco, for those who don't remember which
I remember.
defensive player just walked into this place. Here's the tweet if you're watching on the stream.
Okay.
Chad Johnson, or Ocho Cinco, says, I'm at the cigar bar and the NFL's best defensive player of all time just walked in. Going to be respectful of his space, but it's so dope being in his presence, with a goat emoji.
So the question is, who was he talking about?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you're
who's he
somewhere and the greatest NFL player, greatest defensive player in NFL history just walked in, who just walked through the door? I have an answer. For me, it's Ed Reed.
You
That
love Ed Reed.
is the best defensive player I have ever seen and quite possibly will ever see.
It could be Ed Reed.
No one's smarter.
I
Also,
never even thought about this.
well, yeah, that's why I asked the question.
I know. Now I have
There
to-
was a lot of guesses for LT in the Twitter comments, which makes sense. There was some less than serious responses wondering how Chad Johnson saw Reggie White, who is
Dead.
since passed.
I'm
Yes.
going to be a homer and say Charles Woodson's in the building.
Charles Woodson. Okay.
Best modern day defensive back.
Okay, NFL.
Best modern day defensive back after I just told you that Ed Reed is the best defensive player of all time. Come on, Joey.
NFL.com.
Come on, Joey.
List of the top 10 defenders ever. Ready? Lawrence Taylor.
Yep.
Reggie White.
Yep.
Bob Lilly.
Don't know.
Who did he play for? He's probably a Packer because he's old.
What's the
It
name?
looks like he's a Cowboy. Bob Lilly. Ronnie Lott.
Okay.
Deacon Jones.
Ronnie Lott's a good one.
Dick Butkus. Mean Joe Green. Rod Woodson. Ed Reed. Deion Sanders.
Wow.
Do you think he saw Deion Sanders?
I don't think it's Deion Sanders, though Deion is hanging out in, well, where do we think Chad Johnson's even at?
I have no idea.
That's the other part.
Where would he make a home? I have
Probably
no
in
idea.
Atlanta.
Atlanta does seem like that's a good guess.
Do you think he saw? He could have seen Ed Reed. He could have.
My
seen Ed
answer
Reed.
would be Ed Reed.
Did he ever clarify this? Did
I don't
he
know that he did.
Huh.
I think he purposely did.
Chad Ochocinco. Yeah, I wonder if he just used this as a. Oh, look, there was a picture somebody responded to, and then he said, "Is that Lawrence? Is that Lawrence Taylor?"
That looks like Lawrence.
I think it's
Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Which I have no
Correct.
problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was really good.
No argument here.
Really good.
What's next?
Good news! The courts are coming for the Little League World Series as a judge granted a disqualified team from Tulsa a restraining order. The team was disqualified for an ineligible player, but now play in a winner-take-all game to go to Williamsport.
Okay.
Is this peak courts and sports?
How was the player ineligible? Was it an age thing or was it
The story didn't go deep into it. It basically said that this Tulsa team got a restraining order that would allow them to be a restraining order against the league the governing body
Yeah.
to allow them, which they were effectively banned for having a player that was deemed to be ineligible. I don't know if he's ineligible because he didn't live in the right place,
Right. That's
or
my
if his
question.
birthday comes at the wrong time. It didn't specify really anything about the player. Just said
Little hush,
this
hush.
court case happened.
Maybe he failed a drug test.
And now there's a winner-take-all game between West Texas and Tulsa, and the winner gets to go out of this region to Williams.
To the question, it really checks all the boxes. It's sports, it's courts, and it is like the over monetization of children's sports.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this has been
This
on
might
TV
be the
for a long
worst
time, but
sports court situation so far.
Yeah, this is good.
In part because I have no real affinity for the Little League World Series. Also, like, if the kid is ineligible, your team doesn't get to play. Like, that's how this works.
Well, my confusion about all this is
It should be simple to determine whether the kid's eligible or
no,
not.
no, it's not even that. Like, I understand why they put the Little League World Series on TV, and I think that's fun. I think ESPN does a good job with it. I can't figure out why the regionals are on TV.
I think because it's a property that they can run and they can get better ratings with it than they can. Other
Then
stuff.
what? Really?
Some of their talk shows? I don't know.
You think that 8th graders playing baseball or 6th
People
graders?
love watching it. Like, it clearly draws well enough that they continue bringing this thing back.
What do you think? What's it drawing? Like the Little League regionals. The
Uh,
Little League World Series, I get. The Little League regionals, like Sioux Falls, South Dakota against Davenport, Iowa. What's that drawing? Couple hundred?
Half a mil.
I mean,
It could be good backroom television when
I
you're cleaning
guess
the house.
just because the TV's on. I can't imagine more than like 90 people are actually watching it.
Look, I am on your side with this, but there has to be some reason why this is happening.
I suppose. Maybe it's more boredom than anything else. All right, what's next?
The baseball game between Toronto and Boston featured a 15-minute delay because the Rogers Center scoreboard showed the wrong number of outs, confusing everyone on the field and leading to the Red Sox only run in the loss.
Yeah.
Shouldn't umpires, coaches, and players know how many outs there are at all time?
This amazes me because we saw it earlier this year. There's a Cleveland outfielder that threw the ball in the stands and ended up costing them. They ended up losing that game.
I mean, there's a
in part
lot of
because
baseball games.
Right.
You know, sometimes you're going to screw one up.
I just don't like. There's only 3 outs in an inning. Like, it shouldn't be that hard.
You never, I mean, in your playing days, you never forgot. Like,
Generally, because I was pitching, no.
you never like took one step in and because you thought there was one more out than there actually was.
I would guess not.
That absolutely happened to me. Well, I like to think that I'm pretty on top of things. That absolutely happened to me. You just lose, you just lose track of it. You lose sight
I'd be
of
more likely to not know what the count is than I would to not,
it. Okay,
to
same
not
idea.
know the amount of outs.
So, this ended up being a very confusing situation.
Yeah, I didn't want to force Joey to try to explain it to the listeners.
I will read you the tweet from MLB
Appreciate
scoring
that.
changes. So they put it together pretty well. Red Sox and Blue Jays, 7th inning. Boston has 1st and 3rd and 1 out. Cedar Rafaela hits a fly to center field. Both runners forget there was 1 out and just ran without tagging up because they thought there was 2 outs in the inning. After the ball was caught, the Blue Jays threw the ball in and doubled off the runner at first for an inning-ending double play. However, since the runner from 3rd scored before the out was recorded at first base, the run counted because it's not a force, but a timing play. Toronto was trying to figure out if they could go back and get it reversed or appealed, which they could have.
But they left the field.
But they left the field. All their players went in the foul side of the foul line, and thus the inning officially ended, and they could no longer appeal this situation. They could have had they not all ran off the field.
Right. It seems bizarre to me that run still counts, even though you also count the out.
I know. So
But
weird.
it doesn't
Well, I mean,
compute.
it's the same thing as like when when the 3rd out of an inning is recorded at second base, but the runner scores beforehand, or something like that.
It's just odd because the runner on 3rd didn't tag, so
I know.
technically doesn't even count, but he
Right.
does because you have to.
He just scored.
Yeah, because nobody appealed it.
It's so odd.
It's just a weird gray area that occurred in a Major League Baseball game.
Do we have one more? Or is that it?
Yes, we do got one more.
Lovely.
CBS Sports lists the Seahawks, Packers, Broncos, Jaguars, and Saints as 5 under-the-radar teams that deserve more buzz.
Okay, give me those again.
Seahawks, Packers, Broncos, Jaguars, and Saints.
What the
This
hell?
is the weirdest list.
Why are the Seahawks and under the
I
radar?
click on this.
They just won the Super Bowl.
So let's go through this. Teams that are on this list that are under the radar per CBS Sports going into 2026
America's
are
most
your
watched network.
returning Super Bowl champions.
Yes,
The returning number 1 seed in the AFC, Denver Broncos.
that's right. Very under the radar.
One of the most public teams every year in the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Everyone's darling because of how the offense looked at the end of last year before they lost to the Bills in the playoffs, Jaguars. And then universally, the team everyone agrees has probably had the best offseason out of the NFC South, a division in which mathematically someone has to win.
Correct. That's always the argument for anybody in the NFC South. Anybody could win it because the division sucks. Even though it
None
includes
of these
my
teams-
Panthers. None of these teams are under the radar.
Are under the radar.
No.
Look, I click on this. I'm like, is someone going to make a case for the Cardinals here? What's happening?
So let's see what the argument is for the Seahawks, who literally won the Super Bowl. I mean, that is not a made up thing. They won the Super Bowl.
No, they did win it with Sam Darnold.
They might not be favored to win their division.
That's what it is.
They lost a running back to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So he said at plus 1,100, the Seahawks are tied for the longest odds to win the Super Bowl by any reigning champ in the last 8 seasons. So basically what they're saying is they're undervalued for a Super Bowl champion, which, I mean, they're not going to win the Super Bowl again. So,
I mean, they could.
They're not.
They could.
They're not.
But they could.
You don't think this is the next dynasty, the Seahawks with Sam Darnold?
No.
I think their coach is good. I think their roster is pretty good. But
They
no,
might be
I don't.
good.
I wouldn't bet on them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think they're more here. They're more likely to me to win or make the Super Bowl than they are to have like a 5-12 season.
Yeah. So none of these teams are favorites to win their division. I suppose
That's basically what this is.
And-
Who's
and
the
I-
favorite for the South then?
the NFC South. Is it my Carolina Panthers?
I would think it would be the Atlanta Falcons.
Second shortest odds to win the South, according to this. It could be Atlanta. They didn't have them listed out that way, but it could be Atlanta.
I don't see the Packers getting the Super Bowl as long as Matt LaFleur is the head coach.
Oh wow! Out on Matt LaFleur.
They'll get up to these big leads, and then Matt just craps himself in the fourth quarter and just doesn't know how to coach or manage a football game. It's like that every year. He had Aaron
They
Rodgers.
should extend him.
Yeah, they just did in the last offseason.
I
Might as
love
well
it.
do it again.
Let's double the extension.
He was too hesitant on getting rid of old man Richard. That's a red flag for me and most Packer fans.
John writes in on the text line about the Little League baseball. The regionals are on TV because people want to be able to watch the games that they are betting on.
Oh no.
Yeah, we do live in America after all. People are definitely betting on Little League regional games. Ain't no doubt about it. By the way, we before we get to Jacob here, we have received so much like just sporadic feedback throughout the show about the Emma Johnson Xavier Wakpa hit. People are not happy with us.
Yeah, we did not know enough about the situation. Apparently,
People are not happy with us. I
Even though-
still think it's practice and everything is fine.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people get hit in practice. I wouldn't be encouraging people to go out there and start wrecking people in practice.
I just don't want to erase Xavier Wonkma from society because the hit occurred.
Exactly. And put away your Nebraska biases just for a moment. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go.
Jacob Padilla, Herd at Sports, your source for Creighton hoops and Packers banter. Jacob Padilla on Happer and Schaefer, 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. We're joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline by our dear friend Jacob Padilla from Herd at Sports. Jacob, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing all right.
It's volleyball week. Are you ready? Are you prepared?
Yeah, sure. It's the good news about this team is there's not a ton to like. They got so much back that you don't have to learn too much different. There obviously are some questions because of the depth and talent on the team as far as how Danny Bussom-Kelly is going to deploy her lineup. But probably we already know most of these players that we're going to see. So no, it's ready for the season.
Jacob, is there like a challenge covering a team when you're interviewing and asking questions when really the only question is,
are you going to win the national championship?
Yeah, that is that's kind of on my plate for the next few days. All right, we get our first local media availability where we get to talk to pretty much everybody, and got to figure out which angles to take, which questions to ask, where to go, because we did get to talk to them in the spring, and it's mostly the same players that we talked to then, and nothing has happened since then, really. So yeah, it is interesting, and that's one of the things that Danny Bussom-Kelly and the team has to navigate is keeping that momentum or that motivation throughout the whole season to attack every rep like they did last year, because obviously they accomplished everything but a championship last year, went through undefeated, swept the Big Ten, won the title for third straight year, and obviously built momentum of Danny's first year, so you kind of had that novelty aspect of it and wanting to win everything for her and all that, and then to have it come crashing down at the end. It's got to be tough to gear yourself back up to reach that same level on a day-to-day basis, knowing that you can't really accomplish anything you truly want until the very end. Like everything else you've already done. So like, yeah, obviously you want to go win and they're competitive by nature, but there's also probably just that little thing there is like, all right, can we get to the postseason already? The other side of that is the fact that it could be the last year for the seniors, and that does make this another strange aspect of this season. Is we don't know if they're going to be done, or if any of them want to use that extra year, what their plans are. Like most athletes going into a situation like this, they're kind of like, yeah, not really thinking about it, just trying to make the most of this year and go from there, which is fair. They're right. It's just kind of adds another X factor to this strange season.
We know a lot of the names. We know most of the players. Who amongst the like sophomore and underclass has the best chance of breaking through and either carving out a role or forcing a rotation or taking a job even with such a senior laden group?
Yeah, the easy and cheating answers would be Treya Sigler and Manayo Obeche, who it is. I think we can probably expect what's going to happen there with that second outside hitter spot with Treya Sigler and the way that she played during the spring.
Yeah.
But we also have to go see it in a real match. Like Danny said, hey, she's got to prove that she can kill balls out of the system. Like that's what she needs to show, that she can play front row and play 6 rotations. We obviously know she can handle herself in the back row, which basically played DS as a true freshman. But this was number 1 outside hitter in the country, top recruit. Like she's got a chance now to win that entire job. Skylar Pierce, I think, has made strides too, and it'll be interesting to see if she can carve out a role and what that might look like with the way that Dan uses her bench. But I think we're all ready to see kind of what what Sigler can do if she is able to earn that job outright and play all 6 rotations alongside Harper Murray. And then I guess just the second middle blocker spot there next to Andy Jackson, or I guess not next to her, but with Andy Jackson, is Minaya. It certainly has the kind of the lead in that, just as far as being the third middle blocker last year and being really, really productive in the opportunities that she got. But Kenna Cogill, coming off the red shirt, she looked really impressive in the spring. Like that's, I think for all of these like competitions, we can probably say what we expect to happen and what is likely. But I think the backups showed enough promise that like, hey, those players still have to go out and earn the job. They're not just going to be handed to them.
What do you think the crowd, because Nebraska's red white scrimmage is Sunday and it'll be at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I was just looking at the tickets. It looks like a similar map right now as it would be for like a pretty highly attended women's basketball game at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Like the lower bowl is pretty full at this point. What do you expect it to look like on Sunday for basically the sell would be you could see 2 All-American teams play against each other?
Yeah. And I think obviously the big arena will allow fans in there that normally wouldn't get the chance to. And they're expanding Devaney, trying to get more seats in there for open up some season tickets for new people to join, considering the wait list. But this will be a good opportunity. It's a little bit like kind of like the Nebraska football spring game, in that you get a lot of people that don't normally get a chance to get in that stadium to see them play. So that'll be cool just for the aspect of the fans that don't normally get their foot in the door at Devaney. But yeah, it should be really competitive. I guess we'll find out from Danny kind of what we can expect in terms of the format. Are we going to get like A side versus B side, or is it going to be a mix? Because I mean, you could, no matter how you do it, the team should be competitive.
Jacob, do you remember when the legendary stories when the dream team like practiced against each other? Like they should do like just an all-out slugfest for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they do in practice every day, and throughout the spring, they did mix and match. It sounds like got everybody reps, everybody opportunities. And to what I was saying earlier, the motivation, all that is another aspect of it that can help you combat that feeling of like, what are we playing for until we get to the postseason? Is, hey, these players really want these jobs. They've got really talented underclassmen that are going to make you work for it every single day. And so you better show up if you're the presumed starters, because you're going to get pushed. And hearing from the team at Big Ten Media Days, it was kind of interesting to hear just a little bit about kind of like the approach and just hearing more about Danny as a coach. I think we kind of knew some of this stuff, but hearing the players talk about it now with a full year under the belt, just kind of her approach to practice and making sure that they have fun every single day while still getting their work done. And I think that is an important trait to battle along like the threat of fatigue and in a long season of burnout and all that, is making sure that it's going to be really hard to practice. It's going to be really competitive, but you're also going to have fun. So there's a lot to play for. So I think we'll just see them on Saturday having fun, and I think we'll get to see a lot of players kind of show what they're capable of and to get the fans excited for this season.
Let's jump conferences and let's talk about the Big East new commissioner. What do you know about Tim Brosnan?
He's a baseball guy, and that is the extent of that. So the Big East is a baseball conference now.
That's
Did
what
you have
I've
to
been
learn
saying.
more about baseball to learn more about Tim Brosnan?
Yeah, I saw that. I texted that to the group chat with Alex Sindelar, Matt DeMarinis, and Ravi Lula. I'm like, okay. And that was as far as I went with it.
Awesome. I think that's about what I know as well. I was like, oh, his name is Tim. He comes from baseball.
But Jacob, what's like the big, because when the Big Ten's hiring a commissioner, it's a little bit different than the Big East. What are the biggest things that the Big East is looking to accomplish as a conference right now? Because it's such a uniquely situated thing compared to, the conferences with football, basically.
Yeah, ultimately, like that is the biggest thing, is finding a way to keep up and to remain competitive within the changing landscape, and obviously the influx of money and all that. And it has kind of been fascinating to see kind of how it plays out in terms of, you had all the football conference people complaining about, oh, it's not fair, the Big East doesn't have football, so they can spend all their money on basketball. It's like, you're still making a lot more money than them. So,
right. Yeah.
Like you can choose to spend that money on basketball. You just don't. So don't come crying about it. But obviously with the rising caps, and depending on how all this goes through, we'll see what happens with the act in Congress and all that. Obviously we got to wait a while to see if that goes anywhere, and the longer it takes, the less likely it goes through, as everybody tries to tack different things onto it and change it here and there. And just kind of, that's how things work there in government, which is why they probably need to try to find a way to not rely on that. But here we are. So that's ultimately the biggest thing, is one, yes, remaining at they're standing on the basketball side of things. Like, it is a basketball first conference. This is the flagship sport of this conference, and kind of what it was built around. But also, like, obviously soccer, they've got some standout programs there. You've got some other sports, the UConn women on the in basketball as well. Like, you've got to maintain the competitive balance and keep up with that. But ultimately, like, you got to find a way to make sure that these basketball teams can remain competitive as the money continues to change with all the football programs. And you got to keep an eye on just kind of the landscape of conference movement and all this stuff. And they've maintained their the league as it is. They've kind of avoided further expansion, and they'll have to continue. That's kind of going to be something that they have to reevaluate basically every year. Does this make sense? Should we expand? I mean, that'll be something that's on his plate. But yeah, I mean, like, it's ultimately going to be up to the commissioner to kind of read the tea leaves and figure out where things are going, and making sure that the conferences, or the teams in his conference, are ready to adapt to whatever the next rule change is going to be.
Jacob, one more quick one for you before we let you go, basketball wise. So I know we're in the gap period between summer workouts and the actual, I guess what you would call fall camp or whatever, fall practices starting. When does Creighton come back officially? Is it next week?
Yeah, I asked that and I forgot it. The date went out of my head. I knew they got a couple weeks.
They said they were taking two.
So,
I think it was two off, right? So it's either next week or the week after.
So. Correct. That's what I am thinking. I believe it was 2 weeks, and they got done at the very end of July. So yeah, should be back next week. Obviously, school getting ready to start up. So now they'll have to come back and try to relearn everything that they forgot. It got a little sloppy at the end, and still plenty of things to work on. But I also think they got a lot accomplished in the summer and have a solid base to build off of when they get back.
Yep. Plenty to look forward to with that coming up. Volleyball time right now, and then we'll sneak in some basketball as well. Jacob, always appreciate you stopping by, man. Thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Jacob Padilla from Herd at Sports. Tim Brosnan, the Big East commissioner, which will start officially on September 1st. A former Georgetown pitcher. A former Georgetown Hoya pitcher.
I knew he had Georgetown ties. I didn't realize he played baseball.
He played and captained the Georgetown baseball teams in the mid-'80s.
Wow.
Which I'm not sure how good they were, but
let's just Google Georgetown mid-'80s baseball.
Well, just Google like Georgetown baseball by year. And see
nope,
what you
Georgetown mid-'80s baseball.
I can't. Who God only knows where they were playing, and what they were doing there during this period of time. But yeah, Tim Brosnan. Who knew that if you were a Georgetown baseball player during that time, you you're playing with the future commish.
They made consecutive conference tournament runs in
Whoa!
the mid 80s.
Not at Prasco
They won
Park.
31 games in 1984.
Whoa!
They had a star hitter named Steve Ianni from 1982 to 1985.
Of course, his name was Steve Ianni.
Yeah.
He's a Big East baseball player.
It does sound like a Big East name.
Steve Ianni? Are you kidding me? Come on.
Career record of 311 hits.
Wow. It doesn't say anything about Tim Brosnan's decorated.
There's nothing about Tim.
Okay.
Nothing about Tim.
And then he spent a long time at Major League Baseball. 4-year letter winner as a pitcher on Georgetown's baseball team, captaining the Hoyas as a senior. He served in the Board of Regents at his alma mater, chairing the athletic committee. From 21 to 25, Brosnan served as the chief executive of Hoyas Rising, a private company which served as the external name, image, and likeness arm for Georgetown athletics. He's Georgetown pilled. He graduated in 80. So actually, this is late 70s. It would have been.
Yeah, so I even had it wrong. So I'd have to go back and look at late 70s Georgetown baseball, which I can do during the break.
That's okay. Probably don't need to. John writes it on the text line. Georgetown has a baseball team? Yes. Yes, they do.
They often donate many wins to Creighton and other big East
Well,
teams.
actually, I think we lost 2 out of 3 to them last year.
Oh,
That was a weird series.
They finished like just outside of Prasco territory. I think.
They're like
they're 5th or 6th.
mildly competitive. Like people like what they're cooking, but they can't get over the top. All right, enough about Georgetown baseball. We'll be back and round things out, some accountability right after this on 1620 The Zone. So we mentioned that ABCA poll. Nebraska comes in at numero uno, to no surprise to anybody. So a couple stats on that. Number one, which they got 57 out of the 63 first place votes in the ABCA poll. The 124th week all time at number one, which is the most out of any program in the country. They have been ranked number one to start the season in now 3 of the last 5 years. 2025 last year, 2026 now, and 2022 as well. I was going to ask the same exact question that you did, Jacob, which was, how do you even think about a team on a daily basis that's really, when they go out throughout the regular season, the results don't really matter. They just have to win a national championship at the end of it. They're the best team, and they're the most talented team in the country. I imagine this is how it feels for Ohio State or, whatever it might be in football.
I think sometimes what happens, you end up like tilting at windmills, and it's, oh, you lost this set.
Yeah. You don't have to win a national championship every day. Right. You have to just win the national championship once, but you're at the end.
I think sometimes what happens is you invent stuff that they either have to overcome or that happen.
Definitely.
That's just normal everyday thing.
This isn't what a national championship team does.
Hey, you won that set 25-17, but you were actually leading 22-9. They scored more points than you before you scored your final,
Right.
It's that sort of thing. And
I can't believe they let up 6 points out of the last 7.
It's got to be difficult.
National championship teams don't do that.
It would be difficult to cover. It would be difficult to be on the other side of it. It'd be super difficult mentally to focus on everything that you have to focus on.
Yeah.
And, it's their stated goal. It's a stated desire of everybody involved. Like, this is a group that it's going to feel less than if they don't finish with a title.
Yeah. Just as it did last year.
Right.
And that only adds to the pressure of this year.
Right.
I mean, it could potentially.
Is this where we asked Jake Sorensen, should volleyball try to lose early?
Oh, he's going to the first time they lose to whoever it is, he's going to be like, I think it's good for him. Guaranteed. Put it on the board.
We got to check in with him on that.
Speaking of that AVCA poll, Creighton came in at number 13 in the top 25. The 10th time in the last 11 seasons that Creighton has been ranked in the preseason. In the 15th straight season that Creighton has spent at least 1 week ranked. A program that
15th straight season.
15th straight year.
That is so, like, it gets so dwarfed by everything happening in Nebraska, but what they have built with Creighton volleyball is remarkable.
Yeah, I feel like I have to repeat this for it to really connect with people. They've won, while it might not seem that impressive because of the conference they're in, they've won 12 straight regular season conference championships.
I think it hurts because there's probably no one else that's a top 40 volleyball team.
There are a couple teams in the league that are pushing. I mean, Marquette has traditionally pushed. Villanova, I think, received votes this year.
Good.
Like, there's a couple teams that are pushing a little bit that are better. But yeah, I mean, they have crushed their competition in the Big East for a long time, and because of that, they're going to go out and play everybody they possibly can in the first 6 weeks.
It's the best part about volleyball and softball. I love this so much.
Yep, they are they are one of 10 schools to be ranked in each of the last 79 AVCA polls. That would be Baylor, Kentucky, Louisville, Nebraska, Pitt, Purdue, Stanford, Texas, Wisconsin, and Creighton.
Incredible.
The elite of the elite, and they are they're acting like it for sure. Back-to-back trips to the Elite Eight for Creighton volleyball. All right, let's get to our accountability.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for accountability.
What do we got today?
I've got a few. I'll just get them out of the way early. Twice at the beginning of the show, I did not come back and turn my microphone on.
Ouch.
So we'll do that right away.
Ouch town population.
Apparently missing one whole day caused me to fall off the wagon of something that I had been doing reasonably well. I also attempted to say that Paul Johnson was no longer with us for some reason.
Yeah, you tried to kill
Former
Paul Johnson.
Georgia Tech coach Paul Johnson is absolutely still with us, and we miss him in college football.
Yeah, we don't miss him from life, though.
Some weekend accountability since I wasn't here on Monday. I I've done this a couple times, but you feel sick to your stomach when it happens. I left a credit card at an establishment and then had to like do where would I last have it? Where would it have been? Could it have fallen out of my pocket? Why wasn't it in my wallet? So I call this place and I appreciate this. And so this is a shout out to this place in Nebraska City.
A Tuesday shout out.
But they made me answer every possible question about my credit card. Short of like what's the number?
What's it look like?
What color is it? The bank, your name,
does it have any scratches on it?
I was like, it's either Michael or Mike. I'm not sure if it's my, I sometimes fill out Mike.
Oh, totally.
It should be Michael, but
yeah.
And they're like, well, which is it? I was like, I just told you, I'm not sure.
They know you. It's funny. They ask you all these specific questions. Like, wait a minute, I actually don't know the answer to that question. Would any sane
security question for this?
Right. Sometimes they ask
but
me,
I appreciate it because nobody else was getting that card.
Like I go into the, once out of every 10 times you feed your ID through the thing at the airport, and they're like, hey, what's your address? And I'm like, what is my address? Damn, I don't know.
You have to give your social
security
number.
How old are you? What do you mean, how old am I? I don't know.
We had to give our social security number applied for the Costco credit card. And I knew mine, but I feel like in order to do mine, even if it's the last four, I have to say the first five that lead up to the last four.
Yeah.
Because I just can't rip off the last four for some reason.
What was Joey, accountability for me? What was the accountability that I was going to be accountable about today? There was something that happened during the show.
Right now, your accountability is that you can't remember your own accountability.
Correct. But there was something that happened.
I'm trying to remember because I had to do a lot of other things today.
Joey's accountability will be for other people.
Joey, once again, is accountable because other people are
well, when I was getting an extra entry and I forgot some
pertinent information,
some information, so I was able to take care of it.
But you got it done.
Yeah, I got it done. I was able to figure it out.
I once again decided yesterday, I'll take accountability for this. I once again decided to mow on an incredibly hot day.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning. I remember you
doing?
mentioning that yesterday, and how you were not looking forward to doing such a thing.
I keep doing this,
and then
Michael overdid Monday.
And then Michael Severe was like, "Glad I don't mow my lawn."
Yeah, Michael hates lawns.
He does.
You know that. Really does. All right, that's our accountability for today.
Loves the rain.
Appreciate you all. If you have any accountabilities for us, we would be happy to hold you accountable on the radio. So let us know. As always, until then, we will talk to you next time. Appreciate you listening on the show today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The Crossover is coming up next.